All right, family, peace and blessings. Oh,
What's up, everybody?
hey,
Happy Sunday evening.
can you hear me, sissy?
Happy, yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, good, because I'm working from a lot of different modalities today.
Happy Sunday evening. Hey, Kelly Cooper, how are you?
Oh, sissy, it was a good long week. Good long week. Hey, peace, peace. Hey,
Hey,
sis.
Tiffany Pitts. How was your
Um,
week, sissy?
you know what? It was good. It was like the last week before I start going back to school and doing all this other stuff. So I feel very good. What about
Okay,
you?
cool. I'm all right. I'm getting over this bug. I started last Sunday, but it really kicked into gear on Friday. Put a sister down for a couple of days, so I sound a little mannish. What's up, Tasha? I'm sounding a little bit mannish and a little congested, but I'm drinking my tea. My sis Sybil sent me over some turmeric, some ginger, lemons, peppermint, tea, everything I need to, so yeah. But it's not COVID, it ain't RSV, so I can take it. But other than that, I'm good, player. I'm
Right
in the
on, right on.
Himalaya.
Well, it seemed like it was an eventful week. Uh, I don't know about y'all. New Year, a lot of stuff. It doesn't feel like a new year to you, sis. Anybody out there feel like a new year to y'all?
Well, a little, only because I know I got to write 2024 on the page, but Um, I mean, I guess yeah, it does. I'm not really into resolutions anymore like that. I think you should just practice
Yeah,
it throughout the year. So that was different. Usually, I'm doing this and doing that. I'm trying to be intentional on practicing things and being consistent with it. So, but yeah, it don't really feel like a new year. Really,
yeah,
just the
yeah.
calendar change. But then if it does, because a lot of shit's coming out. So a new year usually bring on new problems or new entertainment or new something, and we're gonna get on it. But Cat Williams done set it off for 2024 so far. I got to give him that.
So that
We'll get
we
into
gotta
it, I'm
go.
sure. But
We're gonna have to talk about Cat. Like, uh, I don't know. What was your thoughts on this, sissy?
I thought it was a lot of honesty in it with some embellishments. I believe everything about the stars. Not even gonna lie. I really do. Not the first time he said it, just had a bigger platform to say it. Some of the other stuff he may have embellished. He's a comedian, so some stuff you got to take like a joke. But I believe a lot of what he said. I really, and the people's reactions is kind of proving that he wasn't lying. Because it hit dog a holler. So everybody coming out to say this and said nobody has called him a liar yet,
Yeah,
by the way. But I don't know what you think. And
you
chime in,
know,
y'all. I know y'all got opinions.
yeah, yeah. First of all, I just want to. My disclaimer is I do not believe black people are one group. So I just want to say that because
Okay.
I think black folks, when we don't want to deal with shit, because this is probably why that some of us are in the predicaments that we're in, we keep talking in these fucking we's, and I don't even know what the fucking we is. Like, I don't know who we be when we be getting beat the fuck down. I don't know where we be when there's loans to be given. I don't know where we be. Like, I don't know where these fucking we's are or the days, the we's and
Mhm.
the days. I wish I could beat these motherfuckers, really. However, uh, I think
Sissy,
because
go
I don't
like
know
this
Cat.
and put this hair down on the back. Go like this right on that side. There's a big piece of hair sticking up. Scoot
Where?
over that way towards the camera. Right there. You just moved it with your hand. You just put it down. It
Okay,
was sticking out
thank
like an
you.
antenna. Go ahead. You good.
That's right. Maybe it was communicating. No, I was kidding.
All right.
No, but I was just gonna say when it comes to Cat Williams, I think that we know that this world is sick, and for us to go on to idolize people that we
Oh
know
my
is a
goodness.
place that's sick, that we know there are many of people who went to Hollywood or went to the Black Mecca in Atlanta, and I heard such horrible stories from people coming back from these places of where we be,
Mhm.
where we are in control. And I think that's one of the things that we don't want to admit that we're not all together. So I believe the stuff he said. I believe that he talked about there are cliques. Hell, there are cliques in Sacramento.
We know
I
that to
mean,
be
wherever
true.
there are niggas, there are cliques. Like nigga and clique is almost the same word in a sense sometimes. When you see a group of niggas, you know that there's a nucleus, like a clique in the middle of it. And sometimes we don't want to talk
Mhm.
about that because we want to act like black
Especially
people are these
if we're not,
magical.
especially if the clique is doing wrong, because we never want to shed light on the wrong that we do.
Yes,
We'll
yes,
magnify glass everybody else, but not our own people. So I totally agree.
yeah.
If
So
it's a clique that's
that's
going around buying up property and shit, we'll never talk about it. But if
right.
it's a clique going around doing bad, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
that's why I said the truth was there. Like I think about, I also think, and this is not to offend anybody, but I also think there is some linkage to people's sexual preference in the treatment of women. I think
Absolutely.
there is a
I
large
believe so
link to
too.
that. And I think we've seen that the whole time, but nobody wanted to say anything because these people are so powerful.
Tiffany says, I agree. He told truth with a little comedy. And like Khadijah said, my grandma always say a hit dog gonna holler. And then there has been receipts that he didn't bring out, but others have in his defense. Absolutely, Tiffany. I think people were waiting to some people just we don't know how powerful people are. Because we're not in that field. So we don't know.
Yeah.
When Cat Williams was people were saying, I hope he's okay now, and I hope he's okay now. There's been other whistleblowers, as they call them, about things that happened, and
David
they labeled
Chappelle.
them as crazy. They labeled them as crazy. They next thing you know, you don't see them nowhere. Like the other night we were talking on the phone line and you were saying how they had when Martin Lawrence was exposing shit, they made it seem like he was crazy. And it's just
Mhm.
like a reoccurring thing when people get out the matrix and they don't partake of the end of Hollywood, all of a sudden they crazy. They are coming out with the receipts, all the stolen jokes, the TV show with Mark Curry, you know, um, people coming out talking about Diddy
And,
when he said he had to fight
and
off Diddy 3 times. People bringing up receipts with that. Like, yeah, I
yeah,
believe most of what he said.
who is you got to tell a person no. I
I
also
seen
think
that from Malachi off Designing Women, Tasha. I saw that.
I've seen
Stole
that.
his joke verbatim. But go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, 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 no. You're absolutely right. You know the other thing, Khadijah. This is where things lie with me because I love when people tell the truth loud, but the people sometimes is how will the people respond? See, back in the day when Elizabeth Taylor stole Richard Burton from, oh damn, what's her name?
Ronnie something, wasn't it?
Her name flew right out of my head. But anyway, people stop watching her films, stop going to see her movies. See, we don't do that kind of shit anymore. I heard the pedophile comedian, what is his name? Aaron Spears. Because I don't know how you could do a
Yeah.
skit about molesting children, but okay. He came
Okay.
out
I
and
don't know
said,
no
you
humor
have
in
to
that.
listen to people. And I'm going like this, listen, like think about what they're saying. He said, this is a news cycle, and y'all gonna forget all about this shit. And I thought to myself, he's really right. Because as much as we be outraged at shit, we do not take that process and not like you Jewish people, if you come against them, they'll just stop, they'll stop supporting your
They'll
shit.
stop
Like,
doing business with you. Stop
yeah.
supporting you. Yeah,
But we
absolutely.
don't do that.
Because they value their people, Londa. Like we know
Yeah.
just here in Sacramento, it's certain shit that's going on, and people, and they know people have had shady acts with the women and children, or the young girls. I'm not going because they're children to me. If you're a minor, you're a fucking child. Even if you're
Yeah.
15, that's a child. But we
Yeah.
know people here that have had questionable interactions with people, and people still go to these people to fund shit like looking for missing girls or doing parenting classes in the community when this person has tried to fuck people that work for him. Like, how can he give anybody a parenting class when he has a preference for young women? Explain that to me. So that we damn sure ain't gonna stand up on a national,
Yeah.
global scale when we can't even shout out the weird motherfuckers in our community. We go
Yeah.
hush mode. So hell no, I agree
Do,
wholeheartedly.
do you think
And
part
Bernie
of
Mac's daughter did come out supporting it, supporting
yeah?
Cat. Mhm.
Do you think part of it, Khadijah, is that there's more people in the Black community that support criminality than support righteousness?
Absolutely. I think those that currently have the ability to make change are more on the criminal minded part of it. Back in the day, there were people that wanted to invoke change, like Collie Crime. We talked about this when we was on last November. There were
Mhm.
certain people then that still had a moral compass to do things correctly. They didn't just say, well, shit, the dope dealer's taking over the neighborhood. Let me start hiding dope for him. Or, hipping is easy. I'll make my house a whole house. No, they shut that shit down. Now we have more people who are in power and control to be able to make some changes that lean on the side of criminality because it's easy. A criminal always gonna go along to get the bag, and these niggas is money hungry. So it's nothing to do with the people. It's nothing to do with the we, how they say we and us. Nothing to do with us. It's about me, mine, and ours, and that's what we're experiencing here locally and nationally when it comes to Black people. They're not worried about us as a collective. They're not worried about the children that you work with, the children you work with. Those kids are not even a factor. It's about getting money so I can sustain myself. Fuck the kids coming 10 years later, 20 years later, because half this shit won't even be here in 20 years because it's not even being cultivated to be here in 20 years. You know what I mean? So that's not going to happen. So I definitely think people support criminality because it's easy and you can get a criminal to do anything. And when your activities are not right, of course you're going to go to people that's going to back up your bullshit. You're definitely not going to go to somebody that's going to hold you accountable. Think about it. When you was younger and you did something you was supposed to do, you went to your cousin who would keep the secret, right? You ain't finna
Yeah.
go to your tattletale one That'll tell on your ass, right? No.
Right.
That's the same thing happening here. Now they just have titles and businesses and allies. He was saying they were stealing from up and coming artists and not bringing up their community. You steal from home, make a profit, sell your integrity, and then move on. That's absolutely it. And we see it all the time. We see it all the
Wow.
time.
So that brings me to Taraji. What do you think about her situation? And we'll go back and forth with Kat because Kat just said so much stuff.
Yeah.
But do you think that factors into this whole thing of 2024 would be the year of people being exposed? But do you think it will also be the year to say, well, what the fuck y'all gonna do about it? That used to
Mm-hmm.
remind me when people used to talk about Minister Farrakhan or whoever killed Malcolm X. And I never forget this is one of my first talks with
Which one?
Khaled in a
Mm-hmm.
lecture.
I
And he
remember that.
said,
Mm-hmm.
if this is true, then what the fuck are y'all gonna do about it? Just like that. And I think I was like, that's kind of deep. Because we'll talk that shit, but
But
what are we gonna do? There's always been reports of Steve Harvey being nasty to people. There's been a lot of reports
yes,
about Oprah. There's been a lot of
even
reports. It's a lot.
even the girl that played on the Steve Harvey show that went with Cedric said he's always had a mean and evil spirit. She did an interview about his ass, Lavita, the one that was like, Seti.
Yeah.
She just said he was very evil on set. He's always, she said, now we just get to see him more because he has more exposure to be able to show us that, but he's always been that person.
That's
And
deep.
yeah, I don't, what people gonna do about it? Probably not nothing. When it gets to Taraji, I'm glad she spoke up. It's unfortunate that she was underpaid, but then they made her black people. I'm not gonna say black people. She just did an interview with Oprah after she didn't want to talk to Oprah. And you can see all the tension between them. She talked about being underpaid. How I'm gonna take the color purple. She didn't almost do it because of the pay. Now she interviewed Oprah talking about I believe in order to heal, you have to forgive. I said, oh shit, this bitch done drank the juice because you was just last week saying you didn't get paid enough. Now you sitting here saying you gotta forgive to heal. And I think that's something they tell victims. I don't think you have to forgive any wrongdoing done to you to heal. Mm-mm. I don't think. I think you can remember that shit. It don't have to hold on to it and harbor it, but you can store it away and know what it is. But I think, and that's another reason why I said with this film that was different for me. It's like you have to forgive your abuser to heal. Bullshit. You can chop his head off and you can be healed. You're gonna be just fine. You'll be absolutely fine. She is right in what she is saying, but she is not in a position to do anything besides use her platform to do something. But you got to stand on that. See, Monique stood on it. She didn't get
Yeah,
work for years and years and
that's
years.
right. She made
She
a
didn't put some shit out
sacrifice.
there and then
She
say,
made a
"Oh,
sacrifice.
never mind. They let me in the clique." Taraji, some of her credibility gonna go out the window now because
Yeah.
you sitting down with the very woman you said didn't want to pay you shit, saying forgive the people who hurt you. So it's giving me the whole side eye. And before, how many people she said she got to do it, she had to do something different for Fantasia and Danielle coming up. Girl, you should have been doing. I'm mixed feelings on that. And I also know Taraji get a lot of positions because of the way that she looks. She's non-threatening. She's a little lighter. She has dimples. You know what I mean? She get a lot of roles that's why she's the same character in every damn thing. I damn near seen Cookie when she was playing Suge. She's the same character. I don't see much of dimension in her acting, in my opinion. But she got to stand on that shit. You can't just put something out there and then when you get caught out on it, you running high. Stand on that shit. Stand 10 toes down just like Monique did and lost a lot of money. And they kept trying to blame her husband. Yeah, he probably had a lot to say on the side because sometimes men just, go too far because I don't really know what the fuck he do for a living. So he probably was all up in the shit like that. She should have had a white professional PR person and not her husband. But right, I was like stand on business. Right, me too, Tiffany. It was a little disappointing because she came out. People was going for it, and then she put her tail between her legs and went and ducked down. Like fuck, And she's been in Hollywood enough. Make your own shit. She should
Yeah.
have enough connections where she don't gotta go to Oprah nobody to make no shit pop off and happen. If you're new to Hollywood, you want to try to get your foot in the door, then maybe you got to do some things. But you've been in Hollywood, Taraji, for a minute now. You should have them connections even over. Go be in some foreign films or some shit. Do something somewhere else. You have a long reach. You're Taraji P. Henson. Tasha said, yes, Monique stood and is now receiving validation, but not everyone is strong enough to walk through the fire. You got to be ready to lose it all if you believe it. Then shut up and don't say it. That would be my
That's
opinion.
right.
Don't
That's
put it
right.
out there for somebody else to pick up the batter to fight, and then we all got to fight. Taraji, if you wasn't ready to take on this battle, you should have just shut the hell up and quit Jody and stayed on that. That's what you should have did. But don't bring it up to get everybody up in arms, and then you go wag your tail and somebody they give you some hush money and shut you up. Disappointing is what it is. But I mean, I
Yeah.
ain't in her shoes.
But
To
I
say all that
also
shit
think that's
crazy
the
ass
other
shit.
thing. Like, it's not about being strong. It really isn't. That's the lie we tell ourselves. It's really about you standing for what is right. Because there have been people who've been really weak, But because sometimes when you're to the point where you're fed up, it has nothing to do with
That's
strength.
when
It has something to do with your own integrity. That was
and
integrity.
perseverance. You got to
So
push
she,
through.
yeah,
Yep.
she stood out there. And my thing is, it's scary for a lot of people. We got every 5.5 hours a black woman or girl is being murdered by a black man or boy, and we still ain't talking about it. And then when people bring it up, black folks, we are so addicted to hiding and protecting criminals that we act like that's going to make us all look bad. We should all look bad
And I
because
think
we're not protecting our
sometimes,
most precious commodity.
and sometimes I think people like the "woe is me" story. Like sometimes being hurt gets you attention. Poor me. Poor, well, me didn't come out like poor me. She was like, fuck this shit. Y'all owe me this. I put time in. Taraji kind of came out kind of, hmm, woe is me. And girl, nobody got no time for that shit. We in 2024. They're balancing integrity and money. Money is winning. Absolutely.
Yeah, but my thing is,
Absolutely.
that's what we see that's winning. But you show me how they all end up with all their money.
Yep. I know when Hollywood went on strike, the writer strike, a lot of the stars we see on TV every week was saying they was damn they 3 months from homeless when
Hello,
that strike was going on. When they wasn't, they some of them, a
is
lot
that
of them didn't even
500?
own their homes. They were renting
Yeah,
big homes in Hollywood. They didn't even own their shit. So they was just. She said if she gets 10 million for a film, IRS tax 5 million, then she has to pay her manager, staff, and her home upkeep. She is left with little money. Sounds like she needs Ayanna to fix your life. Yeah, or a better team. A better team. She said she fired her whole team after Empire because they didn't monopolize on her at the time. Like, she was wearing, all these fancy labels. They should have been getting her contracts with them and everything. So she fired her whole team. But yeah, IRS they're gonna get their money off top. That's
they
period.
show the
But
hell it
then,
is.
you got to get a better team. I look so dry. Sorry, y'all. But you got to get a better team to man you. And if you making 10 million, they're gonna get 5 million. You can't live in a $13 million home if you ain't a $13 million bracket. You got to live within your means until you get to where you got to be. Stop trying to live a high life if you can't afford it.
Yeah, I think it's called imagery, and we know black folks love to support a preacher who looks rich than the one who is poor and think rich.
That part.
We love him.
Hmm.
We love a minister in a nice $1 million suit, but robbing is blind. But at least we can sit in church. But my pastor makes a lot of money, even though all of us is renting.
I
I'm just
sent you
saying.
something where it said Paul. I don't know about that. It was like Paul was a carpenter. This person was this, and this person was that. It said so. If your preacher doesn't have a job, he's a bum. When I tell y'all, I died laughing because they were going over the men in the Bible. How one was a carpenter, one was a seamstress, one was this. They said so. I said that to say, if your pastor doesn't have a job, it's a bum. He's a bum. When I tell you, that was the funniest goddamn quote I've ever seen. Tasha, they need to become their own financial advisor so they can live within their means. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know. And it's not
Yeah,
new that black women and black men, but black women right now, we talking about don't get paid the same as their white counterparts. We know that. It's nothing
yeah,
new. I think it was shocking that Oprah, who's Miss Black Woman Positivity and sisterhood this, and she got on the Oprah Winfrey Network where a lot of her shows is I don't even know, but that she was trying to not give her a good salary for that movie. I thought that was bogus because Taraji brought in a lot of audience. People love her. She has a
yeah.
huge fan base, so that's why she had those big names in there. So to bring her in there and not pay her worth, that was some bullshit, Oprah. Like
And to milk the
that
color
wasn't cool.
purple like that, the color purple, we all know the original one is around a woman who suffered.
Hmm.
Let's just be honest. I'm talking about the one where the Mr. You hated Mr. Guts. Let's be honest. Um, that's what
Hmm.
made the film so powerful because those stories almost never get told. Because in our community, we tell women that we shouldn't do that. We got to protect the man because he's been through so much, even though he beating your ass. So it's kind of like
That part.
Oprah reminds me of women who are almost enablers. Like they
Most
just gonna make
definitely.
the woman eat it so that the man will feel some kind of way.
Hmm.
So
I
we like to
agree.
talk about women being feminist and all that kind of shit, but what makes these goddamn people? They just don't come out
A
their mama
mother,
like that. I
about a
talked to
mother, and
women who
somebody
was in
had
the
to raise they thought.
right. I talked to women who was in the Black Power movement. They talked about all the abuse that they adored at the Black Panthers, the Nation of Islam, any kind of Black Power movement, Black
Hebrew
Arts movement.
Israelites,
The
everybody.
men were horrible, but no one
Hmm.
ever tell you about that because they would, talk. We got to protect him, even though he's fucking beating the shit out of me. Like that shit is crazy. That's the shit that
Tiffany
make you want to
says,
go live around your enemy, so you at least know that this motherfucker is your enemy. Because living with frenemies ain't where it's at.
"Yeah, no, that's a death sentence." Tiffany said, and pastor not doing nothing of significance in the community and Christmas toy giveaways or turkey giveaways, something of real significance. Yeah, I don't know too many ministers that minister outside the pulpit. To be honest with you, I really I don't know too
So
many.
what y'all think about this guy?
I think he is absolutely hilarious. I wish I could visit his church just so I can get some of the energy. I think he is. I think he's spot on. I think he's also some of his things he says very chauvinistic, but he be spot on when it comes to the black church and what we do because he know he's a minister, And so to me, he's the Christian Charleston White. He says shit to shock value. He get everybody
He sure
talking.
do.
He can make everybody want to fight him or like him. You either like him or you can't stand him. It's no in between. And so he's the Christian Charleston White to me. Okay, now let's get on TG Jakes. What you say? Huh?
I don't
I
know.
believe
What
that.
y'all think? I don't know. I don't be knowing these people. This honest to God truth. I really don't know. I don't know TD Jakes. I didn't go watch his movies. Sometimes that's what makes me feel like an alien
I
sometimes
don't think
because I
he's
don't really
in
be
movies.
watching this shit honestly.
I don't think he's a movie star. I think he's just a mega church person like Eddie Long, who came out, some Bishop Eddie Long, some shit came out about a couple years ago. He's not an actor, excuse me. He's just a mega church person. And so, to me, and this is my opinion, I think people have always probably had all these little nasty shits that they do. But when they got a bigger audience and more people following them, all their pervertedism, they didn't hide it no more. They didn't give a fuck because they knew people. We like to idol worship. In our community, we
Mm.
love to idol worship. It could be a minister, it could be a drug dealer, it could be the person with the newest car, it could be the person that got the biggest house, it could be the person that we love to idolize. We love to idolize people that are not in our lives too. So to TD Jakes was this big mega church person, and people just listen to all they buy all these CDs and buy all the scriptures and all this stuff, and they talk about I think it's called Potter House is his church. They have ATMs in there
Mm-hmm.
and all kind of shit. And what church has ATM? Like people barely got money to pay their bills, and you got an ATM in your church. So that right there for me would have been an exit out of his goddamn church. Like how you got an ATM in the church? That would have been an automatic exit for me out of the church. Period.
So
But
Khadijah,
yeah,
why do you think we're
what's your
seeing?
opinion, Tasha?
Yeah, why do you think we're seeing so much homosexuality in black men in positions of power and in the church? It feels like I ain't met
Well,
no
I don't feel
Muslim
like
gay person preaching, but I'm not saying that they're not
me
any.
either.
I just ain't never seen
Yeah,
a.
yeah. Um, I think it has always been there. I think now there's just a spotlight on it, and people are more comfortable with saying they like men or they like women. I think it's always everybody church, not everybody. A lot of churches always had the homosexual choir director. Everybody knew that in some churches. You know what I mean? And I think it's always been there. I think, like I said before, these people get a following. Excuse me, they get a following. I love his word and his daughter speaking. I just don't believe this about him. I think this is a distraction. Cause that's the same daughter that kidnapped somebody, baby Tasha. When the lady, I don't know if
Oh,
it's
you
the
talking
same
about
daughter.
TD
When the
Jakes? Okay,
TD Jakes, yeah. Ha ha
okay.
ha. Run me my money. Exactly, Javon. But I think it may have always been there, but I think people are just really comfortable. Right. We're in 2024 and we are in the last days. Seriously. I know people that don't get scared. We are in the last fucking days. So all this homosexuality and bestiality, we are in the last days. And I think that's what we're seeing. Nobody wants to talk about it. We in the last fucking days. And they probably always been gross. Now they just out with it. And people got cell phones that can record shit and they just getting busted. They probably been doing this shit forever.
Mm, mm. So, so
Okay,
would
not the
that
same
be
door. Okay, Tasha.
so? What that being said, is there? Because I don't see this in other religions like that. I just don't see. I've never seen a Muslim saying he gonna put the jinn's blood in the shoe. Like I just have never seen shit like this, except for in Christianity. I'm not dissing nobody. I'm just saying this like in Christianity, there is just I can't explain it.
Well, I worked for a Catholic company before, and it's a lot of homosexuality in Catholic Church. There's a lot of molestation in Catholic Church. So we used to have to do a lot of reports. People come back and say, Monsignor so and so did this. So it's a lot of that shit. But I'm out of that community, so I don't know it all. You know what I mean? But it definitely, and not to be funny, and this is not to shame nobody. Black people don't have no type of fucking dignity. Like we do shit and we want everybody to see all the horrible stuff we doing. Other people at least have some type of dignity, be shameful about it. You don't see a bunch of the NBA players or NFL players that are non-black wearing skirts and man purses. You don't see that shit. They come out with some pants on and everything else. But for us, we make it seem like it's a fashion statement and it's something to do. You know what I mean? And it's just it's to really eliminate the black family. Because if all the men is gay, nobody's reproducing. If man is fucking man, we're not reproducing any black people. You look on anything, everybody kids is beige now. You let go. Show me some all black couples with some black kids that you can look at and know they black, and I have to guess if they mom or daddy black. And I think that's what it's all about. This homosexuality, and no, that's why black women are getting murdered and killed because motherfuckers been wanting to suck on dick, but he had a wife. So when they break up with you, that's why these men are so goddamn sensitive and emotional. So when the lawyer don't want to be your beard no more, or she done doing it, they take her life. Because these men are sensitive as hell. They all got an underlying, they very sensitive. Not even like a woman, but like a child. Not even sensitive like a woman. Their feelings are hurt easily. Mine. You can't own a fucking woman. So she's not yours. That's some kid shit. Give me my fire truck back. These men,
That's
it's
fucked
like
up.
they reverted back to childhood. And I think that's what we're seeing. And then when they got a little bit of prestige and some money, they're going to go after every nasty thought they ever fucking had. That's why it was so many people on that island. That's why these names is coming up. It was a bunch of black people on that island too partying with the motherfuckers that seen them fucking kids. They seen it all, but they wanted to get to that money, so they shut the hell up. The last of the last days didn't understand what my great granny would say, but now I get it. Me too, Tiffany. I swear, I'll be 49 this year. I'll be like, my mom used to say this, and all that shit makes sense to me now. Oh my God, it makes so much sense to me now. There is a lot of corruption in multiple denominations. It is just covered unless you watch Netflix or Hulu in this document. Yes, Tasha, they got some good documentaries on there. And they do some real nasty shit. But I'm gonna be honest, once again, I'm not concerned with white people and their nastiness. We know who they are. We know that they fuck dogs. We know, we know certain things they've done in history. We know that they would hang a black man and then take his ear off as a souvenir and have picnics and barbecues while burning flesh. I ever smell flesh? So we know who they are. And you're so right. They got some documentaries that are just, and they like to exemplify all of our fucked up shit. They love to exemplify us to show all the bad shit that we're doing. And we give them a lot of shit to show. A lot. It's being secure in your masculinity now and embracing the feminine side. Yeah. And I wish my husband walked through here with some black nails. Nigga, we just broke up. Like, a nail in the dress, some fingernail polish and a skirt on.
Did you
Oh,
say
no.
we was broke up? I can't
We
stand
just broke
you.
up. I used to always say that. But I just, there's nothing masculine about a man in a dress. There's nothing masculine about a man with a purse. What are you carrying around that you need a fucking purse for? You got to change your pad. You need a lip gloss. What do you have a purse for? So I think this shit is just crazy. It's crazy. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, and I'm not being down on our sisters, but black mothers, we
Okay,
don't have any
I'm
standards
trying to
for
go
our
to the
children
ad,
anymore.
Khadijah.
And we really be acting like it's okay for them to express themselves. You don't get your ass out of here and go get a haircut and put some pants on and go throw a football or some shit. Yes, I do believe in gender roles. Yes, I do. Yes. If you're going to be a dancer, you're going to be the masculine dancer in there. You're not doing splits and shit. You're going to be the one lifting the girl up and carrying. We got to bring back. Yeah, I believe it. Yes, absolutely. Anytime men are in a men's only environment or organized environment such as sports and youth ministry, you have that sexualized atmosphere. The gayest place to be in is in the men's locker room after. Yes. Yes, I totally agree. I used to always be weirded out how they always swipe each other on the ass. I thought that was very weird. Even growing up, that was just weird to me. Weird. I definitely agree. Hello, Shannon Ware. Thank you for joining us. We're just talking about TD Jakes and just the very feminine men that are now in our society.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are your thoughts on that, Londa? What do you think? Why do you think the whole surge in all of this all these black men, fucking kids and little boys and
I
paying
I
people to do this
I
and that and
really
the other?
I really think it's always been there, Khadijah, but I don't think
Hmm.
it has anything to do with white people. I think that because I just don't think white people are God. We act like white people made us, that we didn't make them. So I think when you give man too much power, he just started doing stupid shit with it. I'm so
That's
past.
exactly what I think.
That's European. I'm so, especially I understand that we made
Yep.
these motherfuckers. So I'm so
Hmm.
past it. I feel like women, the common denominator for me is how women support the madness. Because these motherfuckers are not smart enough to do shit like this on their own. They're men. They
That
are
part.
really not that smart. They can't do two, three, four things at one time. Women can. We condone, and we're also taught that the penis is so important. That's why we condone a lot of their badness. I seen women defending R. Kelly, and this was in a program on Saturday mornings for mothers and daughters in their relationship. And how many black women put the shit on a little 14-year-old girl that he was peeing on? Talking
A
about
lot.
they just trying to do anything but bring our black men down. Y'all count this motherfucker as your man? We don't even know this
And
motherfucker.
we see that just outside of celebrity. We see that in our own neighborhood when a girl is molested by somebody and they say why she got on them short shorts or why was she looking like
I
this.
don't
We do that
understand it.
even in our community, always securing the perpetrator and never the victim.
Yeah. So
So yeah, I agree.
I just think it's something that's always been in the culture. And I also feel like, keep it all the way a buck, the white man would have never went to Africa and got us if we wasn't on some bullshit. So I just feel like I don't
He
do
has some
victim
assistance.
shit. Yeah, I just don't do victim shit. Like we don't have to take responsibility for the shit that we participated in. Cause it's a participation.
I
Like
agree.
if we feel some way about what Steve Harvey and Cedric always seem cool to me, but I'm just saying, like, if these people promoted something that we know was not healthy for us, I am really waiting to see what black people's response will be.
Mm-hmm.
Cause we the most talking
Mm-hmm.
this shit niggas, but we really don't do shit. We talk a lot of
And what do
shit.
you, when you say that, what do you want to see done? Nobody watch Family Feud? No, I'm fucking with you. But
Huh.
what
The
do you
same
want to
thing
see
they
done?
did
Now,
to
I'm not
Chrisette
casting movies
Michelle. The
and
same
Monet
shit
and
they
Monique.
did to Chrisette Michelle when she performed for Donald Trump. Niggas
Well,
dragged
explain
this
to people.
woman.
Everybody don't know, so explain it.
Okay,
Explain it.
so Chrisette Michelle, who's a singer who I love,
Mm-hmm.
she got a paid gig, shit, and she performed for Donald Trump's inaugural ball or whatever the fuck when he became president. And when I tell you, black folks drug her through the mud, these are the same niggas who watch football every day of the week. These are the
And
same
these are
niggas who
this,
watch basketball every day. All of them are owned by fucking Republicans.
and it's the same niggas who had Trump in their videos back in the day.
Yeah, but y'all gonna
Yeah,
drag
I
her
get it.
because she took the gig. See, y'all on that bullshit. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
be on that bullshit. And the white man, look, this motherfucker ain't God, but I guess he's God to y'all because you think this nigga was bigger than Jesus.
Tiffany, yes, you ain't never lied, and the most forgiveness too. I'm just saying that's a very true
Yeah,
statement.
forgiving us
And
to people
Tasha
who
said
ain't
I am in
black.
a heavy debate about cat. Oh shoot, Tasha.
Yeah. Yeah, and people
Go ahead.
people feel some way because they supported these people knowing that Steve Harvey had all the people lose their jobs in Chicago. Niggas still supported this fool on the Family Feud because
Mm-hmm.
we are in such attention mode. Like the image don't mean shit if it's hollow.
And we don't have a great image. What image are
God
they protecting?
damn.
What image are they protecting? That's the part that people say we have an image to uphold. We look like the laziest, non-productive motherfuckers on earth is what the black race looks like at this moment. If we compare everything we have to what other people have that just got here, we look like the most unproductive, hating ourselves people in the world. I'm
Look,
standing on my position firmly. Come with it.
yeah. I mean, here's my thing. I don't know none of these brothers because none of them I know ever helped black women in their struggle. Let me just keep it
That
all the way a
part.
buck. They may help to have some kids with them, but I just haven't seen them.
And they
I'm
might
not
even
trying to be
use
funny.
us
Build
on
a
their
school in
show to,
America. I've never seen them
and they
build an
may
after-school
even
program.
use us on their show to make them look good because we're very entertaining. But they ain't. When Cat talked about how their wives look,
Well,
that
we knew
shit is
that,
not
Khadijah.
by accident. We knew it. We see it all the time.
Khadijah,
I just came in. What are we
where
talking
was the
about? Hey,
place where
Vernon,
me
we're
and you
talking
belong
about
to,
Cat
and we
William right
noticed
now.
that about people who were in positions of power? Where were we at?
Oh, the Nation of Islam, straight up all day long. That is one of the most colorist
So when
organizations in the world.
I'm not trying to be funny because I know some good people in there, but I'm just saying that
Me
was
too,
something
but
because
they
we know
still
when you're a
colorist.
darker hue person, you look at shit like that. See, I don't think everything is black. I don't. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
believe we really ain't had our first black president yet. We had a biracial president,
Yeah,
but we ain't have our first
true
black
that.
president.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. It's like saying fake Gucci, real Gucci. It's that simple. Nobody bragging on their fake Gucci
Talk.
bag. They bragging on the real Gucci bag, though. You understand what I'm saying? But I feel like black people, we don't want to talk about colorism because then what will we tell our children? Because some of us be co-signing this bullshit. We be
And some
co-signing it.
people intentionally go out and get mates that are a lighter hue on purpose and don't have to have no brown babies. We see that all the time. I hear people say such stupid shit like, "Well, I
Yep.
want my baby to have good hair," and we still live with people that think that way right the fuck now. When we was at
Yes.
the school the other day, the little girl wanted to be everything but black.
Yeah.
I am El Salvadorian. I am Dominican. Everywhere that there are black people at, But and I'm not black. I said, okay, baby, scoot to the side though, because this program's for African American girls. But I'm glad you know who you are. Go ahead, scoot to the side. Everybody want to have all of our uniqueness and culture, but they don't want to be black.
They don't
Smokes and
want that
mirrors.
fucking
Look at the
struggle
right hand and
button.
don't worry about what the left is doing. You ain't lying, Tiffany. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
So I have to share this, Khadijah, real quick. I'm sorry, cause
Sure.
I gotta share this with y'all. Hold on, let me pause it so I can make sure you get it. And
Verna, are
before
you
y'all
talking
get
about Cat
upset,
Williams?
yeah, well, huh?
No, Verna asked the question. What is it? What is your opinion on it? On what he said? Are you talking about Cat? I have 2 biracial kids, and I tell them they black. That's what we put on paper. That part. And you a black mama. You know you black. Some people can't help who they fall in love with. But those are the ones that ain't walking around saying, I got mixed kids. They don't say all that shit. That's my child and they black. When people have to say, you know what I mean? When they have to say, oh, I missed that. Like my sister was with the Jewish man. If they would have had
For
children, they would have been
years.
biracial. But
Yeah.
he didn't go around saying, hey, I'm a white guy and I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a difference. Some people you fall in love with who you play. He cool as shit. I take him as a brother-in-law any day. He was cool as hell. And you could have these kind of conversations with him and really
Yeah.
have a
Yep.
dialect and talk on it. But there are some who intentionally go out to find people who are not black.
And I'm gonna say this:
Okay.
it's in the language. Because I know some people who have mixed kids and they are the most inferior people I've ever seen in my life. And then their kids get really mad when you don't think they're beautiful because they're mixed. I've had that experience. What I'm saying to a real chocolate girl who here really kept, and I don't know how pretty she is, mixed kids always be the ones looking concerned. Like, wait a minute, that's what I'm supposed to get. Which meant that's a program that they got. They got that program, and mainly from their black side. Because white people don't give love like that.
And yeah, black white people don't think we beautiful like that. They don't do all that shit.
I've seen it.
Well, Jeannie may say her child is biracial or say he is Asian.
Wait,
I
what?
don't even. I don't
That's
the one that was married to the rapper. I think she's the one that was married to the rapper.
I don't know, but I just know we cannot act like when Kat made that comment about how people wives look. We ain't gonna sit there and act like these people just fell in love. Miss me with the bullshit.
That shit ain't no accent.
When you don't see 2 very dark-skinned melanated people add together, that's a problem.
Especially when Kevin Hart left his dark-skinned wife who wrote all his jokes and got her. Let's go back to people's first wives and see what they got.
Her. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. But let me pull this up real quick before I forget again. Hold on, please. I'm gonna pull this up. I want y'all to listen first before y'all go into your little rant. Because one of the things I know is about some black folks, y'all don't like to hear the truth. Y'all be already to drink the Kool-Aid, so y'all can't hear the truth. But here's the truth.
Bring it on.
People accuse this man of being a racist. I too was one of the ones that said, no, I don't want to go talk to that man. He hates black people. Well, that's what they said. But I had a story. I wasn't going to be worried about emotions. I was going to go in with my story and see if I could make a difference. Many of you may or may not know that I served time in a Georgia State prison. And while I was serving time in that prison, I was pregnant. I was transported to a hospital here in Georgia by a police officer, and I was chained to a bed, and I was forced to give birth to my baby with a sheriff watching for a nonviolent crime. I found myself sitting in front of President Trump in the Oval Office, and I shared my story. Just so happened that he heard my story. Not only did he pass the First Step Act, overturning the 94 crime bill that massively incarcerated Black America, freeing nearly 20,000 people to this day. He also made it illegal for them to chain women to the bed during their childbirth. This white man that they told me was a racist.
Okay, Khadijah. Now I want to thank the sister that sent that to me. And I thought that was very interesting.
What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is that, here's my thing. I don't have a problem with that. See, I lived in the crack era. I keep telling people I didn't just become an adult and then became active. I've been like this damn near my whole life. So for me, it's like
you were dealing with pregnant women to start off your career.
Yeah, who was chained to the bed. I find that people who talk like that haven't been to jail. So we be pushing the product because we're worried about our comfortability, the way our life is now. But here's a woman who's at the other opposite end. So of course she may see Donald Trump very differently, or people like him. See, she also talked about that crime bill that black people keep acting like didn't exist. I've never met a Jew who ever.
Who created that crime bill?
Well, that is the person who
that crime bill.
Our president, who's a senator.
Yeah, people don't know that either.
And Hillary Clinton, was another one who talked about black men being predators in our community, but for somehow we forgive these people
We have
because
selective
we
memory.
really be thinking about, we really be thinking about our comfortability in our middle class neighborhood or where we renting at. Because we be scared to death. And then we be mad at other groups who come in here. And then that same government that you push for us to vote for, give billions away to people who didn't even build this fucking country. We got billions
Javon
for
said
Israel. We got
Biden.
billions for Ukraine. But nothing for
Javon said
African
Biden,
Americans.
the Clintons, and we have billions for those coming over here who are not African American. Sent them Haitians the fuck back in that water with the whips. Get up out of here. Ship their ass back. But every other nationality is over here living nice.
You're welcome to come.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but it was I'm interested in. I don't think anybody deserves to be chained to a bed like a fucking animal giving birth. I mean, where you going to go with baby coming out? Like where are you going? So I thought that was interesting, and it was good that she provided it. Provided that information. Yeah.
But I
that's what I
also
got to
think
say.
this ties in the cat because we are so programmed. Like with black folks, if you say racist, and then that person will come to mind. But the people who've been the most racist, then we don't even think about them as being racist because that was racist what the Clintons did. That was racist what Joe Biden did.
Racist.
But that never comes to your mind. When he talked about when you stand up against this machine, people start coming for you. When you realize they realize you ain't sleep no more, and we so damn dumb, we don't even recognize like, well, what's going on? While Martin Lawrence is standing, what's going on? And David Chappelle left and
boldly called us super predators.
Yes,
yep,
thank you.
I remember that.
Thank you. Boldly, J-Mon.
You had another comment up there.
Yeah.
Vernon said we have a program at our organization where we are duelists to moms in prison. That is so awesome, and the moms are unchained. That's awesome.
That's right. Yeah,
that's awesome.
There you go. But I'm just saying that for us, I just feel like black folks, y'all gotta get out of this haze of like this think. And my thing is this: if you were telling us to vote for a party who has done nothing for us, I'm gonna start looking at your ass side eye. Because I'm gonna call you the handler. I'm gonna call you the predator supporter. I think we gotta call this shit out. That's why I think this voting cycle will be the same. Sorry.
It didn't come to our mind because they gave out COVID checks and they support the gutter culture that we have created. And they also gave out during COVID, they gave out COVID checks. They gave out weed to get the COVID shots. They had chicken specials to get. It was just like we was back in the Drop Squad movie. Yeah. That's what I felt like during the COVID time. They gave us y'all remember when Bill Clinton was running for president, he came on TV eating chicken, playing the saxophone because he thought that's what black people did. They've been doing racist shit, but we choose to look at it, not look at it because it's going to require some work. So we go along to get along.
Like we just have this unhealthy behavior with, accountability. There's something about accountability. It just, when we say that word, we start talking about it's the system. Like that's our program. Instead of looking to say, how do I contribute to this bullshit? I want to hear mothers be honest about them creating sons that have been criminals. Like you were responsible for that because you've seen all the signs, but you ignored it because you thought it was your job to love your son in his bad behavior instead of providing correction. That was on you. You can't blame the school. You can't blame nobody. He came out of your pussy. That's on you, sis. Some of us know.
Tiffany said the bare minimum is okay, and they know that. And that's exactly you are exactly right. They know that she'll take some of us will take the scraps off the ground just to be happy to say we got this from a white person.
Yeah. I'm trying to find this one picture because I feel like we're on that part of the topic. Khadijah, do you send that to me on Instagram or on Facebook?
It's on Facebook.
Okay, that's why I can't find it. Okay,
right, Tiffany, and we have allowed that to happen for a long time, a very long time. Even the way we talk about each other, it's always in a very evil way, as if we really hate each other. Like we really hate black people. Sometimes even to give a sister a compliment is rude. She thinks she doing something. I mean, she look okay. She doing. We can't even give a compliment and be nice about it to each other. Self-hatred is real, right, Tiffany? I read that already. Oh yes, and in fact, I raised my son exactly like that. I told him I was not tolerate a thug. Period.
Yeah.
And Sister Belazar, you probably was a very hands-on mother. I find nowadays, and no slight, the mothers are not very hands-on. Tablets, TVs, in the streets raising kids. I don't know what the mamas is doing, But I don't feel like there are mothers that are really raising their children anymore. So when they do get in trouble, they put a Band-Aid on that shit and act like he didn't just, he was in a drive-by shooting. He was hanging with the wrong crowd. Your son was in a drive-by shooting. What do you mean hanging with the wrong crowd? And that's what I find. That is by design. Dr. Joy, the girl speaks about this today. But Tasha, that's back to white supremacy by design.
Yep.
Because
I
what this
can't
is the
use that
thing
as an
about it.
excuse. You can't
If we
bank on that.
hold on. If we were back fresh out of slavery and we didn't know what it was, we might can say that. It's 2024.
And we weren't like that.
We know what it is. Now, this picture right here disturbs me. You ain't got to keep it up there long.
Okay.
What in the hell is this, black mothers? This is inappropriate on all levels. If this was a man with a child, this is inappropriate for her to be naked with her child. That's what is anyway, that's just inappropriate. Inappropriate. When my son got arrested as a juvenile, they told me if I didn't pick him up, I would get in trouble. Like with his I don't know what that say right there. Yeah, that's how you used to be accountable for your kids. Now it's an out. It's an out right now, Tiffany. Keep his ass. My mom, I never forget. I got into a fight when I was 15 years old, right there on the credit off of Power Inn, because this white girl's picked with my niece. My niece was like 9 or whatever, and she was older. So I stayed at my sister's house all weekend to fight this girl. And so I had perm in my hair. That's when I was getting perms. And I went out there and beat her ass up, went back in and washed my hair. And so the cops came. I had to go to court and everything. And my mom was like, I'm not going with you to court. Since you want to be out here fighting like you Billy Badass, I'm not taking you. So my brother I wound up getting probation, but my brother wound up taking me. But Tiffany, my mom was like that. Since you out here, I ain't raised you to be out here fighting. You better figure it out. And she did not take my ass to court. Sure didn't.
So here's my thing. I think for Dr. Joy, I think she studies some of our people, but she can't study all because she ain't study my mama. She ain't study North Philadelphia. She ain't study. See, that's why they don't. Sometimes experts, they study things that will help them write their books. But I've always known black people. There were black people who did not take drugs. There were black people who did raise their kids in the crack era. There were people who took in other people's kids. So my thing is that they constantly leave that stuff out of their research. Because I never referenced her. I didn't grow up with people.
A lot of people who do research will only get the data to support whatever they're pushing.
Yes. Yes.
So they'll only get the data that'll push what their agenda is. Sister Belazar said that picture is inappropriate. Another thing that these mothers do is when that man leaves that house, that baby boy becomes the man of the house because he's not the. I think that's probably. He's not the man of the house. He's a child of the house. Keep them children as long as they can. Bingo. I agree wholeheartedly, Sister Belazar. I even see people dress their kids like the grown men. Like getting both ears pierced and, just dressing them like they grown ass men, putting responsibilities on them like they're the man of the house, making sure the other kids got food and they got their shoes on and you doing this. And, that is so true. That is so true. And I know mothers who get jealous when their sons get married.
Oh, yeah.
And they want to compete with the wife.
Yeah.
How are you competing with the wife? Did you raise your child to become a good husband and a good man to somebody? So why the fuck are you competing with the wife, arguing with the wife with your son? You got to cut them strings. That's not normal. That's not normal at all.
Yeah.
She studies Black history. You have to listen to her. I promise she goes through it all. Okay.
Yeah.
And it robs them of their childhood. So true.
Huh?
Trust me, she leaves nothing out. No, you have to listen to her. I'll check her out.
Yeah, I know who she is. This is my thing. And Tasha, not be funny. I don't know what she was doing in 1990, but I was studying all that shit. Pale White Horse. I just studied everything about black folks. Not only do I study the books, I travel to the places to learn the research firsthand. So for me, no, I don't have to listen to her because I don't need no more black Negroes giving us excuses on why the fuck we ain't up yet. See, if she really studied our history, she'll tell you the first 10 years out of slavery, we had 60 black towns. So black folks were very capable. But some of us chose to give into our weaker side. Just like we are right now. There's people giving into their weak side. And then they have an excuse why they did it instead of saying, I did this shit because I'm a piece of shit. I could take a person who be honest about where they are. But it's when we start making up excuses for why we are where we are. See, I don't believe in having children if you can't afford it. I don't believe in welfare. I feel like if you have kids, you should be out working like a slave because you chose to have that baby. I don't believe the government should give assistance. That's just me. Because I never had no children to even get assistance. Because I don't believe I should have any because I couldn't afford it. See, that's not a popular opinion. Because we think it's really about the system. So you're not going to always see a person like me talking about stuff like that. Because black folks don't want to talk about that because we don't want to have accountability.
I'm gonna check her. I've never even heard of this woman before,
Yeah,
so I
I'm
want to see
familiar
what she's
with her.
talking about.
I met her
Yeah,
once, and
yeah.
I just wasn't feeling it because I don't come from those class of people, and they're Black history too. They're just not included because it doesn't support. I are educated.
There
I
was
are
no
have white man
doesn't
degrees,
support their
and I'm gonna
agenda.
tell you what's going on
Yep,
with Black folks. At least the group I
yep.
choose to tell you about. I know
That's
this shit,
right.
Tasha, for real.
Sister
I'm not this
Belazar
way since I'm
said.
52. I've been this way since I was 18.
Sister Belazar said, "I am so sick of excuses. I don't know what to do. Just sick of them." And Sister Belazar, you are older than us, so
Yes.
if you could type in here, when you were coming up, what were some of the, because y'all couldn't just say the white man, y'all had to get out there and get it done. If that meant working in the field, you worked in the field. If that meant, being a
Mm-hmm.
waitress, you was a waitress. That meant being a handyman. What do you see that one of the biggest problems in this generation as far as accountability and why we blame so much? What do you think some of the reasons are? That is accountability. We have to own our own bullshit because, excuse me for cussing. You all right, Sister Belazar? I hosted her in a conference. I am not challenging. I am saying this is a lie she had. I am saying this is a lie she had educated on. Well, cool. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with learning something. Everybody's in different levels of where they
Mm-hmm.
are. So I'll never make you feel bad for listening to her in a conference or
That's
hosting her,
right.
because everybody have different experiences and learn different things at different times. So this is your time to learn about this. That's great. And ain't no big deal for me. But I ain't never heard of her. So, and I've read a lot of books. So
You got to
maybe
keep
she's somebody
talking for
new.
a minute. I got to get my charger.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. Um, my sister Belazar, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting over this cold. It's kicking my butt. But Tasha, when you hosted her at the conference, what was the conference? Sister Belazar got a thing. My girlfriends and I was discussing this today. We didn't face discrimination until we got into the work fields. That's when they would do their racist bullshit and then cover it up and make us have to. Hold on, y'all got to open it up. Make us have to make us have to prove that it was discrimination. It was hard as hell to do it. Did you find discrimination from white people? Because right now, a lot of things that I discover, I don't even know discrimination, but I get more ostracized by Black community than white people.
Mm-hmm.
Any job that
Mm-hmm.
I want to qualify for with white people, I usually get it because they want me. They know I can do the job that they're hiring me for. With Black people, maybe I'm too big, maybe I'm too dark, maybe I'm too blunt. But it's a lot of jobs I go for Black people that I know I can do the job well, and I won't get it. And then I'll go in there in a couple of weeks and see somebody doing a job, or from all races, see somebody doing a job who's incompetent. And so this was curious because I know for a fact. I'm sorry, y'all. This cold kicking my butt. Um, Women's empowerment. I was the president over a group called Women of Color Coalition. Oh wow, Tasha. Okay. And was that like all ethnicities in there? Tasha, just curious. Um, but yeah, I just find it's like we expect white people to be discriminatory or racist. I get that, but I experienced it more from Black people, and I can't even call it racist. But I've experienced a lot of it from other Black people. To be honest, I really have. What you gonna say? Something, Reds?
No, did you read this?
Okay, I already
This.
read it.
Okay, because I had to step away and get my
Sister Bella. She
charger.
said she didn't. She said she didn't face it until they was in the workforce, and then they'd have to prove it with discrimination.
Right on.
And
Right on.
she got that from all races. Tasha, yes, all ethnicities within the labor movement. We were working on uniting women of color in the labor movement. Okay,
Got you.
cool.
Got you. Yeah, I went to the labor awards, and I knew some of the women that was there because they were teachers and people that I work with till this day. But we all noticed who got the
What's
awards
up,
and things,
Cuzzo?
and what some of the awards were named after.
Hmm.
But not a lot of us in it. But hey,
Hey,
I
Cuzzo,
look at that with
Kim
everything, not
Willis.
just the labor movie, but with everything. I always look at where we are in it.
Tiffany says, especially Black women, from my experiences, dealt with this for property management. Knew last was a sister, but the way she dismissed and tried to sabotage me, but now it's legal. Yeah, I'm telling you, Tiffany, I right there, right there with it. Happy New Year, cuz. What's up, Faith?
Hey.
But yeah, I find at one time we kind of knew who the open enemy was, and that was usually the non-Black people or the Caucasians. Now our open enemy is our own brothers and sisters, from what I've experienced.
But see, I don't know if they were ever our brothers and sisters. That's where I'm at,
True that.
Khadijah.
Well, when we came up, when we
I'm
seen,
real past 1972. I'm real past 1988. I'm real past
and
that.
you should be
Because
real
we have
past
Black people from the
1993 and 4,
Caribbeans
because we
here.
used to be.
I know we
I
have
said,
Black people
yeah.
from the Caribbeans here. We have Africans that are here. We have Black people who have come here for this American dream. They weren't descendants of people who were enslaved on this body mass. And sometimes they appear to be very different, but they want to be sister and brother when they think it's a benefit. But what the things that they're benefiting from, they're not making sure that we as, foundational Black Americans get it. They act like they're here
Break down the term foundational for those who don't
foundational
understand what you're
Black
saying.
America are the people who've been here since slavery. We are at the foundation of America. Foundational Black America. Adolf, descendant of, whatever you want to call us, descendants of American
I just wanted
slavery.
you to break that part down
no,
so
no,
people
no.
be like, what
Right
does
on.
she mean?
Right on. But I feel like other groups who just come here who are Black, that's not their lineage. That's like when I go to Africa, I don't act like when I'm in Ghana that I'm a Ghanaian. I'm like, I'm learning about my history, but I'm really not them. I'm more American than I am, Ghanaian. Even though that's a term that was given to them. Same way Nigeria was a term that the British people gave all those different ethnic groups. That's why their asses is always fighting. You know what I mean?
That part.
So my thing is we can't even be respectful enough to be like, you know what, that's really not my experience. But you'll see people here every day. Even if you go back and look at the film industry, they made it a purpose to go out and get Black people who were from England and, most of them who were from Africa to come in and be actors instead of giving those roles to the Black people who deserve those roles. So we've always had inner fighting, if you will. I don't know what you want to call it, but we have always had that. So we'd be foolish as hell to think somehow the white man has made us this way. Like y'all motherfuckers is the white man Jesus. Let's be honest. Maybe this.
For some, he is.
I mean, I'm serious.
For some people, he is God.
Everything.
For some people, he is God.
Huh?
They base everything. For some people, yes, he is. For some people, Jesus, the white man is God. And so, any way he wants us to think, act, and respond is how we do it. So, yeah.
I just be like,
maybe not for you, but for some people.
I just was like, see, my thing is when you really understand history, not just reading this shit in the book, that's one thing, but you gotta go to Montgomery, Alabama, to the lynching memorial. You gotta walk through that shit so you can understand it. See, we're the only people who downplay that whole thing of slavery when this is the shit that's controlling you all fucking day. That's why you can't get up and fight. That's why I know you are not your ancestors, because they was fucking fighting. Your ass think fighting is being on Facebook. Your ass is fighting think being in the middle class. Your ass is fighting up there asking the board to teach your kids about yourself when that's your goddamn job. But this is how we are appearing. And then we get mad at other groups who say, I want a school just to teach our kids in our language. We got a fucking nerve to be mad at them, because who the fuck want to be with a stinking Negro? Who wants to carry your ass? All the money, the Title I money that motherfuckers get is really for how bad the fucking they think the Black kids are. But they give the money to everybody else. You get that? They have English as a second language, and most of us don't even speak proper English. But we so into wanting to look like we are integrated, but you ain't bringing shit to the table. That's why motherfuckers don't want to move with you. They don't want you to come move around them, and you can bring your fucking lazy family. Don't nobody want to see that shit. Till we get mad, you talking down to Black people. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm
she's talking to
now
a
I
particular
know how
class
my
of Black
felt
people
when they would say shit like that. Now I understand where they're coming from. Because you can't build this whole country as a foundation of Black America and then don't contribute shit and then get mad when other groups come here and up the ante. See, if you had loved yourself and married yourself and groomed your goddamn kids and make them sacrifice, there's a man who comes and picks up the leaves. I have a lot of leaves in my new house. He is with his son, and they in there, getting it in. This is a Black man with his son. How many of y'all taking y'all kids to places? Huh?
I said, and I know a lot of Black men that do that, but we don't even act like they exist. We act like the motherfucker that's taking his kid to buy new Jordans and to the strip club is the norm, and that's not the norm for all Black people. That's why that's why we say some. You know what I mean? Like, it's some niggas I don't want to live around. It's some niggas I absolutely do not want to live around. I don't want to live around somebody whose car broke down and and they don't cut their grass, or this nigga's home all day because he might rob me while I'm at work. You know what I mean? So it's certain people. So I agree wholeheartedly, but I think Black people have got into the position where we just like to blame everybody. We just like to make it everybody's fault, and we like to really critique every fucking body when there's shit that we could be doing. We critique every nationality on how they move and what they're doing and what they're not doing versus critiquing what we can do for our own selves.
That's
You know what
real
I mean?
talk.
I say that all the time. Oh, they Mexicans got this. The Mexicans got that. The Asian
Yeah.
people got this plaza. The so-and-so got this plaza. Okay, well, get your shit then. Like, what you mad
A
at them
man,
for pulling their resources together?
Hey, so
We
you
are
know what I'm
we
saying.
are the enemy towards each other.
Yeah.
I agree,
And this
Kim. We
shit's
are
ridiculous.
sometimes.
Like
Absolutely.
I'm gonna give you another example how y'all support men no matter how they appear or identify or claim to be. Let me just share this with y'all. Here we go, y'all. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me,
You would just
goddamn
don't
it.
get mad
That's
at
what
me.
open say. Don't be mad at me, goddamn it. Hold on, down. I
Are
can't
you
even
pulling
find
up
it. Yeah, the girl.
about the
Here it
domestic
is.
violence? Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I'm about to go. I thought this was there because this is all men shit. This is all
Yeah.
men shit. This is called
I agree.
male dominancy. No matter how y'all want to talk about
Even
it.
if they got on the dress and
they're
makeup.
gonna call it a domestic dispute, where a man come in here and say, "Oh, you're a faggot," and he just hit me in my face. That's a hate crime, and a hate crime here in California and other states is 10 years mandatory. If you go get your baby daddy, sister, brother, cousin to fight me, and he hit me, even if I drop the charges, the state is going to pick it up. Because you know why? Just in the month of October, 5 trans women has been murdered.
I get all of that you're saying, and I don't think it's right that anybody is a victim of any type of hate crime.
Mhm.
And so this is how I work. I'm kind of straight across the board.
Mhm.
If a man come in here put his hands on you, it's a hate crime.
Yes.
A man come and put his hands on me, it's a domestic crime. So
Yes.
I'm thinking, I give my life to give life every day. Why is it that?
And my sisters give their life just.
Oh, please.
No, not the same. So the gist of this video, he was just saying that if a woman was to get beat and hit by a man, he would get a DV charge, domestic violence charge, and probably be out the same day. But if you were to hit a trans woman, because it's a trans woman, even though he still got a deep voice, some of them still have penises. This man is very muscular, so he still got all the man hormones in his ass. They would get a hate crime. So that just tells you how. And he talked about 5 trans that was killed in October. All these black women who are getting killed by their
every
mates and their
5.5
kids in their neighborhood,
hours.
like that shit is crazy. But
Every
that's why I
5.5
could never
hours.
be. That's why I could never be on the trans woman bandwagon. I know some people in here who be in my inbox about shit with trans awareness and all that. That's not my fight. That's not my beef. I'm trying to keep black women alive. That's not my problem. That's not my fight to fight. That's y'all fight to fight. Because you could easily put on some pants and a shirt and walk your ass around as a man and be that woman when you home. So you can't act like. And my trans sisters, 5 of them died in October. Sad that they lost their life. It's horrible. It really is. It's not my fight.
How many men have lost their life to other men? What
That
about
part.
that number? My thing is, you're gonna come with your less than 0.002% and make your number be. That sounds like some white supremacy shit. Now I gotta say it. They'll act like, this is my
Don't blame the
struggle.
white man. No, I'm playing with you.
No, but for real,
I'm fucking with you.
that's how white like, well, I'm gay, so I can relate. No, the fuck you can't. You can't relate to shit. You could just go ahead and show up in your white privileged self. So that's the crazy shit though. But you won't talk about. That's why I said all black people, we not together. We just not together. Because you're not gonna go before me, boo boo. I've been a woman. I came onto the planet as a woman.
Period.
So you're not gonna ever compare my wound to your idea of what the fuck you think
to
I
your
am.
imagination. To your imagination. That's just an imagination.
But that's why, let's not be funny, people gonna go in that booth and they may vote for a motherfucker that you may think is racist, but at least the motherfucker keep people straight. See, I'm looking for people to keep shit straight. I don't want nobody who like me, because most motherfuckers that like you, they like your position, the position that they keep you in.
That part.
I like a motherfucker, I get a fair shot at my shit, because I'm not gonna ask him for nothing. That's the part I lose black people, because y'all want to ask people for shit. You want to ask them for shit you ain't willing to do yourself.
And other people sometimes will leave you alone to live your dream or live your life. And that's where it goes astray for me. When they want to dictate how you should move because you are a black person. So you should be thinking this way, moving this way, voting this way, talking this way, and I think that's we're not in them times. I don't think we ever have been, because
but I think it's going
no white
back
man
to
come
them
all the way.
faster.
Yeah, but I'm saying can't no white man come and take us from Africa, y'all. He has some assistance. And so I don't think we probably have never all been unified like that, in my opinion. But that's why you really have to find your tribe and find those that you can build with. And they may not always be black. It may not always be black. That's why I be like-minded communities where people can work together and do things together.
Mm-hmm.
May not necessarily be black people, because in my experience, and I love my people, but we use the shit out of people. Like they'll call you in the meetings to speak your truth and to make them look good, or
Mm-hmm.
they'll use you for whatever resources you have, but they really ain't trying to help you build or do shit. They just want to use your resource and your knowledge.
Yeah. Well, I'm down with
Tasha
you,
says,
Sister Bella. So all your kin folks ain't your, all your skin folks ain't your kin folks.
well,
Well, I
thank you,
get
can
that.
show ain't. Tasha said they should have a conversation with someone that has either is or have experienced domestic violence before they say it. It is a black woman's fault not being protected. Wait, say that again. Oh, before they say it's a black woman's fault they're not being
And so,
protected.
so here's the thing about black femicide: you can't talk to the person that's a victim because they dead. Every 5.5 hours in the United States. These are real stats that a black woman been tracking for the past 10 years. When I met her, it was at every 8.5 hours. Then it sped up through COVID, and now we have 5.5 hours. So that's more than just motherfucking 5 people in a month, boo-boo.
That part.
These are black women
That
who
part.
are murdered. That means that's a life force giver. That's a mother. That's a daughter. That's a sacred wound carrier. Okay? Loses her life. She can't come back and give an interview. And black folks
Okay.
won't even give her a voice by even recognizing that we got a problem in our community. Because I really think it has something to do with the way we rear people and the way we protect criminals. That's what I think.
Yep.
The way we giving all
I
of these
agree.
other lifestyle Negro black men, Puff Daddy didn't just abuse this woman because it was just something to do. That was a cultural thing he did. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
black men who treat their women like that. And I don't give a fuck about white men because I don't know them niggas. I'm talking about the black men we know. Just the
And if you think
disrespect in
back
our
to just
community is
our
off the chain.
communities, you think back to our communities, and a man slap his wife, that's their business. She
Yeah.
must have said something out of line. We protect them all the time. And for those who may not believe this is true or may not believe the data, there's some things on YouTube you can watch called viral
Yep.
crimes, called twisted
Mm.
crimes, Black Girl Unlost. They document, I watch it every night before I go to bed, every day across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of women are dying at the hands of people that look exactly like them. Some they have bore children with, some they have
Mm-hmm.
birthed. There are so many black boys killing their mamas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sometimes women setting up a girl to get killed because she want to be with her dude, or she's up. It's so much shit that we are out here dying, y'all, at an astronomical number. It's just unbelievable. But it's twisted crimes, viral crimes, Black Girl Unlost. It's quite a few of them on YouTube. When y'all get a chance, they only like some of them like 8, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, and there are so many black children out here whose mothers have been murdered.
Yeah.
We don't even talk about what they're going to experience growing up.
Yeah.
I'm a domestic violence survivor. I can speak on it and can be you. Some of us have survived. Amen. Thank
Right
God.
on. No, I get the thing about the domestic violence survivor. I'm talking about black femicide. I'm not
Black
talking about
femicide.
domestic violence. That's clearly a difference. Some of them may have domestic violence cases in their background, but I think when we talk about death, you don't come back from death. This is not a movie. You can't come back in the next episode and we resurrect your ass. Death is final. And I just don't
Mm-hmm.
understand why black people will not talk about black femicide. Like why we ignore it like the plague. And then we're gonna get very mad when a white person pick up
Well,
this as a mantle. Then we're gonna be upset,
well,
embarrassed. And then
I
we're
think
gonna be
sometimes
embarrassed. Huh?
I think sometimes we don't want to address it because we have people in our very family who beat the shit out of women and we overlook it. We have people
Mm,
in our family who choke their wives out and we act like she didn't do something right. That's why she got choked. We have some women have raised sons that beat
mm-hmm.
the shit out their girlfriends. And when he was little
Yep.
and he pulled the girl hair at the playground and pushed her down, you thought that was a term of endearment. Love don't hurt, love don't beat your ass, love don't abuse. And
That's real
Tasha,
talk.
to back up what you're saying, if you look at a lot of those videos, a lot of these men have prior charges for domestic violence. And you know what?
Yes.
Women would drop the charges. The women wouldn't show up to court. The woman would family try to keep them away. She would a lot of shit. They would sneak and go see the man. So I'm right there with you. I thank God I've never experienced domestic
Me
violence.
either.
Thank God, because I probably would be in prison. I'm not even gonna lie. Um, But
Yeah,
I
you
really
both.
would. Because I beat somebody ass. Anyway, I'm not gonna. I just can't stand for domestic violence. I just have a
Me
zero
too.
tolerance for it because I just think just walk away and do something different. Hey, Lavelle, how you doing, brother? Tasha says, I think the entire conversation needs to be had. There are family members who are pushed back from the family or they are not believed. I got my ass whooped for calling police when my little brother dad was trying to kill my mom, chasing her with a knife, and she locked herself in my room. I was 10 years old.
Wow.
Mm, wow.
That's deep.
And that, yeah,
That's deep. That's real deep.
I'm sorry y'all experienced that.
I am too.
Tasha, let me ask you this. Do you think because you watched your mother in that situation that it made you more susceptible to it when you got older?
Hmm.
Did you think that
A
was
good
like a term
question.
of endearment or love? Just curious. Sister Belazar said, honey, my mother taught us at a young age, you can never beat a man, but honey, let him know if he puts his hands on you, he better not close his eyes, and trust me, that shit works. Amen. My mama taught us the same thing. Bust
Same
him
shit.
upside the head.
Yeah.
So yeah, same thing.
That's real talk.
I
My
remember
mom
one
taught
time
us
I
the
had a
same
boyfriend
shit.
who tried to block my exit in the kitchen. We was having a dispute or whatever argument, and he tried to hey Alexis, Mona, I love you too, Niecy. But he tried to block me in the kitchen, y'all, and I had like some incredible Hulk strength, and I pushed his ass. He fell against the spice rack. I moved out that day. I said, hey, sis, I gotta come stay with you for a week because this nigga tried to lock me in the kitchen, like, and he just blocked my exit, and I went crazy. Lord, so yeah.
I also think, do
And
you
I
think
love
this?
you too, and I'm really proud of you, Alexis. I am super proud of you, boo. Let me know when you come back to Sac so we can have dinner or lunch or something.
Do you think there's those two? And Tasha, you can answer this too. But do you think there's any linkage to not having a father or lack of male affection that women stay with men who are abusive? Because we sometimes
Oh,
equate abuse with protection because we didn't really have any protection. Because I find with a lot of women, they just take shit off of men, and it's like, well, I don't know if I'm be able to find nobody else, or that means he like me because they've never had protection. They never had a dad. They never had men to be like, nigga, I'll knock you out. You fuck with my door. Like some of them have never really had that for real, for real. Like I'm not
Tasha
trying to be
said,
funny or judgmental. I just want to know.
Tasha said, I was confused in my core. I knew it wasn't right, but my mom was saying that's part of relationships. Grandmother and mother, and it runs deep. It was part of a norm in the family. I believe that.
Got you.
And to
Okay.
answer your question, Londa, I don't know, could be, but I know some women who have very active fathers who were raised by single fathers, that was loving and working, and they ended up with somebody that was beating their. So I don't
Mm.
probably sometimes you sure, but I know some people that had a very loving father, and because all their friends or other people were like, girl, he choked me last night. He was mad because I went out and he was like, he had choked, so they feel like, well,
Oh.
shit, that's that she getting choked. He loved me. Because I know I can name
Mm.
off the top of my head 3 people right now who had mother and father, very loving, attentive fathers, and they were abusers. And I don't like, you got a good ass daddy. Like, what is the attraction with this? But I think almost when you say we are the least protected, I think in the norm we have now, it's almost expected for a man to put their hands on you, to cheat on you, to belittle you, um, to live off of you in some sectors. It's almost become a norm for black women that is part of a relationship with a black man, and that shit is not normal. It's
Mm.
unhealthy, y'all. But a lot of, like Tasha said, it was the norm. Over time, it has become a norm in our community to take abuse, whether it be verbal, physical, emotional. We have just been trained to take that shit, suck it up, and keep it pushing. And I see some
Wow.
people that come from, some people don't have no father, so it's definitely looking for a father figure, especially when they get with some old ass nigga beating on them. That's straight up
That's so
daddy
true.
issues. This nigga could be your grandpa. But a lot of times I think in our culture we just make it norm to be disvalued, to be devalued. Ain't even no word. To be
Got you.
devalued,
I
it's
get what you're
almost a
saying.
norm for girls. They expect it. And I hear girls
Mhm.
say, "Well, he too quiet. Like he work a lot, and he be wanting to rub my feet and stuff." Like, girl, that's what boy. That's a healthy relationship. Now he get mad because then they flip it over. He got mad because I had one out, and then he pushed me down. He pinned me to the bed. Like, girl, that is fucking abuse. That's force. But to them, that's love.
Go ahead.
We got a couple of comments.
I put them
Tiffany
up there
said,
for you to read.
especially. Okay.
It says
Tiffany
yes,
said,
the lack of
especially a lot of.
fatherhood.
I'm reading off my phone so I don't miss nothing. Okay,
Oh,
what
okay,
you
but
said? Yes,
that
the lack
but
of
Tasha's was
fatherhood is
next.
different. I
Right.
got you. Yes, the lack of fatherhood is different in my situation as I was taken from him, so I can't blame him. I just don't have a strong presence of a male figure. Um, especially Tiffany says, especially a lot of young ladies that think it's part of being a ride or die. Exactly. And they have a point to prove to keep their man. Tasha said, my uncle was all we had, and he is just finding out now what has happened. And when it happened, both uncles at the time missed the call. Uncle Richard and Uncle Rotel. Them two would have tore some shit up. I can tell you that right now. And
Mm-hmm.
that they probably missed that call to save their life. Lester says, and that was me, dad and mom in my life, dated an abusive man. Still don't know how, but I got out. Deborah Zelazar said, that's why I told my son, don't you put your hands on nobody ass. Nobody. His ass went to juvenile hall because he hit his girlfriend. Her mother put his ass in jail. I went one time to juvenile hall and told him, this is my first and my last trip. I told you not to put your, oh, hold on. Told you not
Put
to
your
put your hands
hands.
on them, and I meant that. Now you put your ass in here. And when I got up and said he seen my back, he wised that right up, and then I don't know what she said to that. He rise right up then and there, got you. Yeah, so I think it's a mixture. I think some women, it's passed down from generation. You seen your mama getting her ass whooped, your granddaddy getting her ass whooped. Then when you're not in that culture and you're around people who glorify getting your ass whooped because that means your man love you. That's how these young girls are with these baby daddies who are abusive. And not only is he abusing you, he taking your money because he don't work. He fucking other girls. Like it's just a whole lot that come with abuse. And yeah, I think it's probably both. And Alexis, I'm glad you got that situation too, babe. I
Yes.
really am.
Yes.
Hey
I would say
Tanya. Hey Corey.
how much do you think that is about shame and embarrassment?
A lot. Because we always blame the victim, unfortunately, in our community sometimes. Sometimes in our community, we always blame the victim. What did you say to him? Why'd you get him upset? It's never, oh, I can't believe that happened to you. It's always, what did you do to have him react that way? Why did you piss him off? Heard
Mm.
people say stupid shit like that. Like, I can't piss no man off to knock my tooth out. Like, what can I possibly say to make him knock my tooth out? But we do that. Victor, I think a lot of people don't want to come and talk about it because it's going to be shame, or they say you asked for it, or you knew how he was before you dated him. Because people could put a mask on. My uncle Greg Mathis, that's not really my uncle. This is disclaimer. Uncle Greg Mathis said a crackhead can hide their habit for a year. So
Yeah.
abuser can definitely disguise himself for a long ass time, and then sometimes they just wake up and they pop out on your ass and you getting beat up.
How much of this violence, Khadijah, because we're really talking about violence here against women, how much do you think is fueling this man against woman conversation we hear a lot of on the internet with in the black community?
Expound a little bit more, because
Like
that's really deep.
we have these. I listen to a lot of conversations. I mean, not a lot, because sometimes it gets on my nerves. But it'd be like, we don't date black men because they this, and this. And then brothers would say, we don't fuck with black women because of this. And it's usually with us, it's like strength. She talked too much. It's like all of these strength points, really, to be honest with you. But the men shit, it'd be shit like he lazy, he don't respect it. It'd be like, so it's a bit of a, I don't even want to say conversation. The shit feels like a war, because it's like we can't even fucking talk to each other about things that we can
Real
probably learn
issues.
from for each other. Because sometimes there's a time to be quiet. Sometimes there's a time for you to be loud than the motherfucker. Because we wouldn't even know who George Floyd and none of them dudes were if it wasn't for the loud ass women. So you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, how many times have we seen men defend women, jumped up and was like, no, I'm not gonna let you, talk to this woman like that. Like that when that white man was talking shit to that black woman was pregnant, and that black man came across the parking lot and beat his ass. And he didn't even know the black lady. But he knew what the man was doing was wrong. So we forget those instances. But what do you think is fueling that?
I
Do you
think,
think
like
this
you
is
just
part
said,
of it?
I think this part, but it's also a lack of communication. It's also a lack of not wanting to talk about the triggers that make women want to be with a man that's abusive, and the triggers that make a man want to hit a woman. What about him that he can't talk? He can't use his words. Where is his strength in using his words to talk about it? Sometimes men who don't have monetary gain think their only power is in abusing or hitting somebody. That's where his power comes, because he's not high in economic standards. He's not the highest paid. He's not, he's nobody looks up to certain black men. So they only power and control. I think it's really about power and control. It's about having power and control over your mate, personally. And I think the same thing with black women. Sometimes we date down, and I'm saying date down, just using that loosely. We get men we know are not financially able or mature enough to be with us, but we'll date down to have a mate so that we are over them in some type of way, and it gives us power. I think a lot of this shit is about power and control on both sides.
I
I'm gonna
agree
read
with that.
Tasha's comment. In
Yes.
my family, it was about keeping the unit together at all costs, no matter what, which was not what I could accept. And that's a lot for our older people. I know people that say, my husband slapped me one. I remember my mom saying one time, I think my dad had slapped her.
And she broke every dish in the fucking house.
And she
And
broke,
then
she's about
called
to
her
say his
brothers
dad.
around the corner.
Yeah. And
They
so I
came around
think
with their hunting
at one point,
rifles.
it was like, yeah, at one point, it was kind of like, you keep the family together by all means. That means if you getting your ass whooped, that means if he's cheating on you and have side babies, that means if he loses his job and you got to work, you just keep the unit together. You know, and they did, and so just think about,
Ooh,
they probably didn't
all
even
right,
have
Miss
black
Fitz.
femicide data back then.
Yeah.
Tiffany says sometimes it is shame and embarrassment because we as black women have to have a man. Hell, Betty Wright even says having a piece of man is better than none at all. And there are females that think having any type of man is a win and validate them. Absolutely, I agree.
That's so fucking
I ain't
true.
got no disagreement with that.
That's so damn true.
Well, there is not any real safe spaces to have a conversation. You got to create the space, Tasha. You
Yeah.
got to
Because I
create
had
this.
that
Anywhere
talk
you can
with some of
talk
my
is a safe
homeboys.
space.
I had one homeboy who's married to a white woman. This is not this ain't funny, but it's funny. His first wife was black and they had kids together, daughters, and then he got his wife, whatever. This was the first brother who I knew was married to a white woman that I could really have a fucking conversation around race. And he basically said, I didn't go looking for her, really. I wasn't even checking for her ass. But we had real conversation. He's not afraid to talk to me about it. And I've never had that kind of conversation with a black man before that was married to somebody that wasn't black. Because he has black daughters. So, and he's in their lives, he raised them, but it's like, man, we be so hurt sometimes, we can't even fucking talk to each other. Because we don't know what to do when people be upset. You know what I mean? I really feel like, what the fuck? I was watching this film the other day. It's with Julian.
What's up, EPA? I see you on here, D.
Yeah, Julian.
What up, EPA Luana?
I forgot it. It's a cowboy, whatever. So basically, it's the way the dude, and I'm skipping around a little bit, but I guess this woman had been on her own for so long. But then he basically told her, I had to wait you out because you were only being who you were to protect yourself. That was him having understanding on why she was reacting to him and doing some of the shit she was doing. She said, because I had to always be the man and woman, at least in my reality. I don't know what it's like to be with someone and then he said he gonna do something and he do the shit, because I ain't never seen no man to do no shit like that. That's been some people's experiences. Or they watch their mama believe in motherfuckers and then y'all sitting in the dark. Like that shit goes somewhere inside of you.
And I think just to piggyback on what you're saying, what's up, Sybil Torrance? To piggyback on that, growing up, our father left the home when I was about 8 or 9. You know, then he would, come, but he was pretty much out the home. But it was my mom and my sisters because my brothers were one in high school and one away, then one was grown. So I just seen the women making it happen in my home. Period.
Yep.
Bills, clothes, sustaining us, making it happen. So when I became grown and making good money, I really didn't give a shit about really being with no man. So people try to talk to me. I was very standoffish because I was just gonna get to it. And even when I got with somebody, I still had to learn how to allow him to do things that men like to do, like pay the bill or make sure my car got gas in it. Go out and warm my car before I leave the house. Certain things like that. And I got it myself. I got it. I was so hard because I watched women get it. And we had men, that wasn't really present. They were living their life. It was just really the women in my family from the time I was 8 until I was grown, really holding it down. Period. And so I wanted to make sure I could always hold it down. So I get what the brother's saying. Sometimes women, thank God my husband was like, okay, she gonna come around, but it really was like that where you had to learn how to allow a man to be a man. I had to even talk. We first got together. Sometimes I would talk to him as if he was a child, a boy child. You know what I mean? He's a grown ass man. He would watch your tongue with me, and I had to damn, I did kind of talk to him like he was a teenager boy or something. You know what I mean? Because I had to really check
it's the
myself.
way you said teenage boy. You're a grown man.
Sister Belazar said that happened in my relationship with Milton. Rest in peace, brother Milton, because I had to be the man in the relationship with my ex. That when I got with Milton, they told me, "Mom, don't drive the man away," because I was so independent. But having conversations with Milton, he taught me how to love and how to be loved by a man. Amen.
Amen. That's all I'm talking about right there.
Because I think that's lacking in a lot of black women. Not even so much the absentee father, but we just have to be strong and get this shit done We ain't got time to figure out why you doing what you're doing. You know, we got to keep a roof over our head. If we got a child, we got to keep our child going. Like my mama couldn't stop and understand why her relationship didn't work. She had to take her ass to work. She had kids to raise. She had things to do. And I'm pretty sure it gave her a hard shell because my mama would never talk to nobody. People be trying to holler at her, snarling at her. She was in her own. Maybe she was, now that I'm grown, I know she was just focused on making sure her children were okay. But, you
Yes,
know, it was like a tough exterior because she didn't really, I don't know, before I was born, maybe they were lovey-dovey, but she had to fend for her goddamn self, you know, and her children. While he got to go make other families and do whatever he wanted to do just to sustain himself, my mama had to take care of her whole tribe,
that's right.
in a
That
sense.
they made together. But I'll say
That
this,
they make, yeah,
and
that
I
part.
love to the Balazar point. I think the other thing for some black women, and those I'm using some because all of us is not the same,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
I feel like to feel secure enough in the space where you allow yourself to let a man even nurture you because we are the
Hmm.
nurturers. So
Yep.
that's very different. Like that's something that
Natural
men could get.
maturity
If
like a
somebody could do
mug.
a whole goddamn,
Hmm.
if Tyler Perry could do a whole goddamn movie on that, on the black man,
Hmm.
that probably would help all of us. No more Medea.
Hmm.
Let's really talk about how black men communicate with the women in their lives, their daughters included. Because I think all of this shit, like our interaction with
Makes it.
men starts
Hmm.
from even in the womb. That's why if you having traumatic ass babies with a traumatic ass nigga, and then your kid is traumatic, well,
If
shit,
you got
that's
a traumatic pregnancy, you're gonna have a traumatic
yeah,
everything. Uh-huh.
Khadijah. So I'm just
In
saying that I
vitro,
think your
a
husband
child
must have
in
been a
vitro
very
got to be
special
loved and
man.
nurtured.
Yeah, to even create that. Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
Tiffany said, "My husband showed me what a man was and that his word was good and how to argue correctly. LOL. I used to go for the jugular, but he set the standard not only for me but for our girl." Yes, Tiffany, I'm right
That's
there
my
on you.
point.
Yeah, because I say some shit to make you want to leave me or be something. Yeah,
You
I
was
had
on
to
some
really learn
Alexi
how.
shit.
And I'm a Taurus, so I'm a bull, so I'm bullheaded. Like I am stubborn as hell. I could be dead wrong. And I was in the debate team, so I'm a try to debate my shit. But Tiffany, we got a lot in common.
Let's
Sister
talk.
Belazar said, but Milton was such a kind man. That's how he was able to deal with me and make me understand a woman's place. I know that's right. And a woman's worth.
That's
I
right.
bet you he helped you understand that too.
How many of y'all grew up
Because
watching
women will
Dynasty?
automatically fall in line to not to be funny, not follow line as far as follow her man,
No.
but she'll know how to be a woman if her man is a man. Like my sister,
Yeah.
y'all know Lana's super like, independent. I love to see my sister with her mate now when she's making this plate. That's like Londa be like, he can make his own, he all right. I love to see her like in her nurturing woman role and making, baby, you need anything? Because that's my sister's
Make
like,
your
what?
own damn
No,
plate. I'm just kidding.
yes. Butter your own bread. No, I'm playing. Remember that?
I know
All
that's
the
what I thought about. But your own goddamn bread. But I also feel like that. But also, we have to admit that we haven't always been around men like that. Even when we was in the nation building, some of these niggas were very arrogant, and they read a book that said they were the head, but these motherfuckers was not showing up like the head, and then got mad because we were showing up like the head because it was natural because we knew we had shit to do.
Mhm.
I don't have time to be thinking about how the fuck you feeling today. That's too much work on me.
I don't have time to cultivate your feelings, and that was my whole thing right there.
Shit.
I do not have time to unpack all your childhood trauma and bullshit. I don't.
Woo,
You got to
I
go sit
can't
on the
do
couch,
it.
lay on the couch somewhere. That's yeah. I didn't have.
I can't do it. And
That's
I
right,
think
my
I ain't trying to
word.
be funny. When I work with girls and I see a lot of them showing up in that masculine energy, I already know what that is. Because when I started asking them about their dads and who are the men in your life, most like, I don't know my daddy. That nigga's a sperm donor. They be saying all kind of shit. And I be like, I don't get mad at them. See, this is another thing I learned. It is not my job to tell them they feeling ain't real and they gotta stand their daddy's place. No, no, no. I said, well, baby girl, look, do you want your daughter to feel the way you feeling right now? And if you had one? See, I start
Mm.
talking like that. Like that means because right now that's the energy that you know. You're gonna pick that same energy. Unless you get to learn something else. The girls who do have dads
Unless
that
you
love
learn
them,
why you're attracting that type of,
yeah.
you got to unpack it.
But
You're absolutely
but
right.
my girls who have dads who are, man, it's just something about these are also the girls who listen more. They're not in the rush. You know what I mean? Like there's some girls, boy walking past them, oh my God, them girls don't really be doing that in my class.
Okay, because they see a man every day at home.
That's my point. So it's just kind of like, wow, that's just kind of deep. Like I just feel like I think this also, because I ain't trying to be funny and I not let nobody off the hook, but the woman determines how we roll because she
Period.
makes the ultimate decision to bring you onto the planet.
Hmm.
So some
I
of this
agree.
emotional shit we seeing even in boys, that shit come back to us. Like not letting the other
I
men
agree.
check their sons that you
I agree.
trust. You know, we be like,
Mm-hmm.
well, don't be talking to my son like that. This shit, wait, you with the dude that he can't check your son? Like, what the fuck going on?
Mm-hmm. What you with him for? Yep, real
Yeah,
talk.
why you got him here?
And I've heard women say, I don't trust him around my, talk to my son like that. But you laying with this man every night, and nigga, he can't talk to your son about shit he needs to be doing as a young male, like taking out the
He
trash,
just,
pulling his pants up, not talking back.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I do.
saying.
Sister Bella
I'm
Star
just
said, that's what
saying.
I admire about the both of you and your sister. Thank you, Sister Belazar. I learned so much from you. You have no idea. Tiffany said, Deborah Belazar, your husband sounds like an amazing man. You and I were both blessed to experience that real love. May they both RIP. Oh, my condolences
Oh,
to both of y'all.
see there? We need to hear from y'all though. Cause I feel like instead of having all of this toxic relationship shit on TV, I love to have some relationships like y'all on TV. Give me hope. I ain't gonna front. I'm such a romantic. When I see a black woman get her love story, I'll be like, I'm gonna watch that shit again. Cause I'll be like, I like that. You know me, I watch some shit over. Like in Mo Better Blues, when he asked a woman to save his life. When that scene come out, rewind that shit like 1,000 times before the Love Supreme come on. But I was like, I love seeing people get their love story. I'm sorry, especially when it's us. Cause I just know the shit ain't been easy. You know? I'm sorry, my sister all sick. Get it up, girl. Get it up. Get it up,
Girl, I had
sister.
a whole cough attack. I was
I
like,
know.
I said, give me a water. He probably was about to talk about the Cowboys or something. I'm like, boy, give me my water.
Okay, hold on.
Tell me when
Sister
I'm done,
Boston,
y'all. So I
thank
couldn't have the
you.
whole conversation.
That's the man. Well, that's not the
That's
man for
not the
you.
man for you.
Okay, who's the person? Who you talking about right there? I'm sorry.
Talking about people that got to get abuse and not
Oh yeah,
loved. And
sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You guys always somebody.
Sister Belazar said, you guys, I love you guys so much. I'm telling you, I've had a good time every time I've been in your company. Yes. You know what, Sister Belazar, I was just looking at pictures of you and Brother Milton dancing at my engagement party. Y'all was coming down the Soul Train line jamming. I loved it. But yeah, I enjoy being around. I just enjoy being around older women who still sprinkle knowledge on us, and still
Yeah.
want us to get it right
Mm-hmm.
or get some understanding. You know what I mean? So
No
she's
talk.
always pouring into us. Anytime we on here, she jump on and she's sharing some
Yes.
knowledge. She's giving us
Yeah.
some encouraging words or some info we don't know. And so I just appreciate you as an older person tuning in with our crazy butts and
Yes.
sharing, your story and giving us good input. Tiffany said, I was like that in the beginning of my relationship with my oldest, but then he sat me down and asked me, did I trust him? And I did. I really think he would bring harm to my son. And I stepped aside and things went a lot smoother in our house. I know that's
Yeah.
right.
Because I don't be
I know that's
understanding that. I'm
right.
like, you got a man in your house? That's like, what
Yeah.
did he do? Like, does he move? Like, you know, y'all, real quick before we get up out of here, I am trying to put together a what are we calling this? A forum of Black women who will meet with the people who are running for mayor and city council that are women. And I want us to ask them what they're going to do for our community or things that you think is important in our community. But I only want to have about maybe 12 to 15 of us, small, intimate group. What do y'all think about that? And if you're interested, inbox me because I'm going to really put this together for February.
Tasha, I'm just gonna say you're gonna be there. Okay, anyway, let me keep
Oh,
going. No, Tasha
okay.
always got input. I was about to read the comment. You took it back down.
Yeah, but this is like an advertisement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll
But
follow up
yeah, I
with
think
that.
that'd be
Whoever.
very
Okay,
interesting
good.
to do that, just to see
Okay.
uh
Yeah, I think I
what
want to
people's
know because
perspective
I
is on
want to
things.
know like what they're gonna offer us. Because one of the things I do kind of see, and the men are gonna be doing this too, because I'm helping them with theirs. But I just feel like we need to like Dr. Flo run in. There's a sister in District 2. What y'all think about what happened in District 2, y'all? I didn't even talk to y'all about that. The man got
Portia
indicted and he
Middleton is
resigned.
running.
Lolo E
A
resigned
black
because he
lady
got
named
federally
Portia
indicted.
Middleton.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Keisha.
I said a sister named Portia Middleton's running for some type of
Yes, she's
office.
same thing.
I
She's
think
District
Tasha
2.
had given us her name.
Yeah, she District 2. So it's like I want to know what we think. I mean, what we should be asking them. You know what I mean? Things that you think is important, in our community. Sister Balazar said something, Khadijah.
I love jumping online with you all and giving you the knowledge that I have because that's what's wrong with the next generation. There's no one feeding them the information that they need. But thank you again, and I love you guys. We love you back.
And
Definitely
Tasha
do.
said yes. All right, Tasha, I'm dead serious. I want to put together because I know all these people. Not
And
all of them, but a
Tiffany,
lot of
you
them.
too, because you got a whole lot of good information. please,
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested. I'm going through renting issues. I was on news for no hot water and other issues. Please count me in. Wow. Yeah, we
Yes.
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
See,
gonna make a
that's
note.
the
I'm gonna make
issue.
a note.
That's the issue. I got paper
So
right here. I got you.
okay, I got you, Miss Pitts, and I got Tasha. Anybody else interested? Let me know, because I'm gonna come up with like 12 to 15 of us. We'll sit around like a kind of like a half circle. They'll be at the top of the circle, and then we get to ask them different questions like why should we support you? What are you gonna offer our community? I just feel like we have the power to do that, and I know this is just me. For Black women, 40% of Black women 40% of the homeless in Sacramento are Black women with children. That's a big ass number, which means here we go, right? Black woman, the head of the household, who can afford to pay for this high ass fucking rent.
That part.
Also
Sybil, I'll put you down.
employment, like a portable that's at um cost of living, like that's another big. So we notice about 5 to 10 different top issues that Black women face if we're gonna be healthy and productive. We know mental health is a big thing, but I'm so tired of people using that, because at some point you still have to move around. Like today, I went to church to collect the donation from the Center for Spiritual Awareness. It was actually awesome. I'll be honest with y'all, I really enjoyed myself at that church, because we was in and out in about an hour and 30, no, hour and 15 minutes. But the message was so clear. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, I could start my Sundays off like this, because there was no judgment. Because like I said, like non-denominational, but the message was very clear.
So it
So
wasn't like a beat over your head for
no,
religion.
none of that shit. That's why I
That
really enjoyed. I
turned
said,
people
damn,
off.
this
I
was.
keep trying to tell people,
The
quit
truth of the
doing
matter
that
is,
shit.
I think I needed that, because it talked
Mhm.
about you being in control of not the situation, but how you're going to respond to it.
Respond to it. Mm-hmm.
And that spoke to me, because I'm a type of person where I ain't got time to be asking my enemy for shit. I got to get up and keep going. Shit come there, I can't sit and wait. That's not gonna be able to do it. So anyway, okay, but that's all. I just want to kind of put that out there. I just think it's important for us to get our issues in this race, if you will. You know, hey, I got you, Civil. So yeah, so I just feel like it's just important. And my thing is, we don't have to all be agreeing on the same thing. I'm just talking about the pulse of me watching some of the key issues, and housing should be like number one. I feel like if you really want to fix this economy, help all the women that are renting become owners.
Especially you got a rental history, been renting for 15 years, never
Yeah.
missed a payment, never did
Yep.
nothing. You paying somebody else's mortgage.
Yeah. So you should definitely,
Yep,
if you want to
that's
help
real
turn
talk.
this economy around, that's just what I personally think. I think no more affordable housing. I think help these people be owners, so they can have equity in where the fuck they live at.
And so they
If
can
you
really
really
start
want to even,
legacy building. Yep,
yeah,
that's real
yeah.
talk.
So that's where I'm at. I'm tired of affordable housing. Black folks, we've been having affordable housing since we've been in this motherfucker. So I feel like if you really want to help us get to some our positives, like, you know, ownership, not just because your baby died and people been killing each other. Like that. Let's help people really get on. Let's help people really have the American dream that we give foreigners. Let's help us do that shit. No, seriously. Because I know people who just got here and they live in the El Dorado Hills. How the fuck is that possible? How the fuck is that possible? That's all
That
I'm saying.
part.
You just got here.
That's the word right there. It's housing. Yes, yes.
Yeah, that housing shit is major. And I don't like seeing that 40% of the homeless population being Black women with children. I don't like that shit. I don't like it. I think there's something terribly wrong with that. Like, what the fuck?
So why do you think more people, we have a lot of organizations here that deal with stuff. How come you think no one is talking about, because that's homelessness affects everything in your life if you don't have shelter. So,
I don't think
kids have to go to school and try to figure out how to, you can't learn. You got to go back and sleep in a car. You got to go back and sleep in a tent. So that affects so many areas of our life. So why do you think
Yeah.
more organizations here are not talking about the
Because
homelessness
they
with Black
don't.
women and children?
Because they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about Black women. The respect level for Black women right now is like minus.
I'm finna say negative.
Yeah,
-10.
negative, top part of the negative. You feel what I'm saying? And I also feel like, and y'all please don't hate on me for this, but I also think when you see men running shit, that's usually not a good sign for women, because men, they don't think, they just think about how they gonna solve something, but they don't look at the deep part of how to solve things. You know, they all
And they
about
also
like,
think about doing what they can do to stay where they at.
well, that too, but I'm just saying. I
Mhm.
agree. I think you get that for men and women. I know women who are just as just as horrible as men. But I'm saying what I've seen in this town from back from the '90s is when women ran the few nonprofits we had, we did make a lot of things happen because I was there. But now it seems like we have a lot of men running shit, and they are so fucking emotional. They think everything is about them being the head. They're not trying to solve the whole
That's what I
problem of the
just said.
family. They're not built
Right.
like that. Women are
That's
built
what I
like
just
that.
said.
And I don't know if because we
Some
give
women.
birth. I don't know
Yep.
what that is, but I'm willing to bet that's part of it. That's all I'm saying.
Because
That's
they're
what I
not
say.
nurturers, they are gatherers. They're supposed to be money. Yeah, they don't want to lose nothing they got.
Yeah. And they don't think about, like, a woman will give you her
They don't,
last. A man will never do that.
and a woman will think about everything that you have
Tomorrow.
to do as a woman. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why women need to
That's why
run
I'm
this
trying to
place.
get them
That's it.
elected to office. I'm just saying. I don't know how good they're gonna do, but shit, give them an opportunity. Because Lord knows, every
I
time I
can't.
see a man, I'm like, here, this nigga go. Fear for real in my mind. I'm like, I hope he has a good mama and some aunties, and his wife is solid. Because that's who I'm gonna
That
go
part.
ask to get some shit done. You know what I mean? Because I'm just saying. I think if I don't know. I'm just saying. I just believe in women and the power of women, and I think if men were smart, they would believe in the power of it too. Because he know we're gonna take care of everybody. Men don't take care of everybody.
It's
That's
one
like in
brother
the
that I do. One brother that
question.
I do work with, and people always say, he gonna date a white girl or he this. His whole core base is black women because they're gonna get the shit done. And
That's
so I
my
just
point.
when people don't know it, they only see certain things he posts. But this brother whole inner circle and crew are black
Yep.
women. Sister Beladar said, let's let the women run it for a chance to see how things happen. But I believe they're going to do a good job because, like we said, they are nurturers. They're going to
Yes.
make sure everybody's taken care of. Hold on, taken care
I
of. Yes, I
believe
did talk
that,
about
and I think if we
that.
tell our daughters they can be anything, we got to support women who's trying to make it happen. And that was one of the reasons
Alicia's
why I felt some way about Taraji, because I was like, well, damn, sis, until she kind of fell off the deep end. But go ahead.
I was saying, Alicia says some women like me take care of now and in the future and look to help others.
That's my point.
That's
That's
what's up.
that's what I'm saying. We
Mm-hmm.
think about what we're gonna do right now, what we're gonna do 10 years from now. Because what you do
Oh
right now
yeah,
is gonna affect 10 years from
gonna
now, to be
affect you.
honest with you.
Got that right.
That's what I'm trying
Hey,
to say.
Shanda.
And
Okay.
I think affordable housing does not help us 10 years from now. Because that 10
They
years of
don't even
equity is going to somebody else's pocket. That should be going in
they
your
don't
pocket.
even have rent to own programs for
Yeah,
people. Like to be in your home, show
I
consistency for
agree.
2 years or something, then you own it. They don't even have shit like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
that's
I've
all.
been
That's
here.
that's
Oh,
why
I
that's such
just
a
seen
big
your
thing for
name.
me. Yeah. Hey,
Alexa
Shanda.
says nothing stronger than a black woman carrying every aspect of the world on her back. You ain't never. Oh, you doing here? Yeah, I wish you lived here. I need my braids redone.
Girl.
Alexa, shut down. I ain't even asked you nothing. Sorry.
Alexa be
Yeah, just
eavesdropping. I hate to say her name. I'll be like, I
she
am
don't
not
shut
talking
down.
to
She talk about thanks for telling me. I'm about to cuss her out.
you.
I'll be cussing Alexa out, y'all.
Man, I think somebody, man. So anyway, real quick, we hang up, y'all. That got Beyonce, which I did a little bit the last 2 weeks. No, it was like the last 4 days. I have been watching the reruns of Dynasty because my mother used to
Oh
watch
Lord.
Dynasty, and I've been watching off and on. And I could fast forward or whatever. That damn Alexis was a hot mess. I think Alexis was the precursor
Alexis
to reality.
Carrington.
Yeah, but she was also Dexter
We
Carrington.
can't hear you.
She was. Can you hear me now?
We can't hear you.
Okay, hold on,
Your
hold on.
sound is one out.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on, sissy.
Can y'all hear me still? If you can hear me, say you can hear me. If y'all can hear Londa, say y'all can hear her. Cause
Can y'all hear me?
I can't hear you. I can.
Okay, hold on. My phone probably getting ready to go out. Let me see something.
They can hear you. I can't hear you. So I don't know what you did to me.
Okay.
You can
So
hear me?
something going with you.
Or can you
So
hear
what I was gonna
Rolanda?
say real quick,
I
y'all,
just see your
I can
list
hear you
moving.
both. She
They
can
can
hear
hear both
both.
of you. I
So
just can't hear you.
girl, I don't
Let
know
me
what we're
take
gonna
my
do. But
headphones out and put it back
I'm
in because
talking
I don't know
about
why I can't hear.
Dynasty. So what I was gonna say is I've been watching that, and I've been skipping around because they had so much damn drama. Oh my god. But anyway, when I was looking at Alexis, I thought to myself, this looked like the precursor to reality TV shows. That mean spirit of Alexis, because she was getting on my damn nerves. At some point I was like, I gotta stop watching this shit, and then that was the end of that. But I haven't watched that in eons.
Can you
Can you
hear
hear
me?
me now?
I had to take my headphones off. I can't do my headphones. I don't know why.
I can hear
But
you. Can you hear me?
yeah, I took my headphones off.
No.
Yeah, I
So
can't hear you through
real
my
quick, and
headphones.
these, I know we're about to wrap up, but I was saying when I was watching Dynasty, I felt like
Mm-hmm.
she was Alexis Carrington, Alexis Kobe, Alexis Dexter. Like she
Yeah,
was
she was
married hella
making her.
times.
Yeah.
Huh? And I think that was Ralph Nader's son who played the Dexter dude, because his last name is Nader. And I was like, is he related to Ralph Nader? But anyway, that's Nader. Sorry. But anyway,
Mm.
do you think Alexis was kind of like the precursor to some of the mean women stuff we see on TV?
Hell yeah, she was like the villain on the show. Like everybody was afraid of Alexis. Crystal was jealous of her. They tried to bring in Dominic Devereaux. Alexis was like, "Girl, get the fuck up out of here!" Like that was Donna Carroll's person. Yeah, I remember. You know, Mama used to watch Dynasty, Dallas, and Knots Landing. Okay, that was her 3 shows at night.
So
Alexis,
supposed
she'll
to
tell
ask
you. Yeah,
Alexis, she'll tell you. But I haven't
yeah.
seen
Alexis was
Dynasty
just.
in EI.
She was
This
like
like the late
straightforward, a
80s.
villain. She was dressing her butt off though. Like
Yes, she was.
Alexis was
Oh, everybody's
dressing her
clothes
butt
was
off.
white. With the
Yeah,
men
but
shoulder
Alexis was
pads.
just a
Everybody's shit was shoulder pads.
Transport.
Sorry, I'm just gonna unplug her because she just because we're saying Alexa from the show. I was like, you know what, Alexa? But yeah, Alexis Carrington was she was top notch.
Man, I'm telling you, I have laughed. I was watching. I was like, this is getting on my nerves. This is the early '80s, but everything. And then I think Blake had like a glass eye because I noticed that his eyes look different. Like like little stuff I was noticing. Then they had Billy D. Williams on there. Then they had Calvin Lockhart on there. I don't know if y'all know who these people are.
And he's fine.
Calvin
He was
Lockhart.
fine back in the day though.
Yeah, but he looked old on the and then they
he was fine in them 1960 movies who was kids watching it.
Yeah. Oh, he was handsome. But kill me. Well, all the black people they had on there, none of them were married to black people in real life. But they had to be married to each other on Dynasty. Now I thought
because they wasn't doing no interracial shit back then like that. Real talk.
But I'm saying, but here they were all on here doing roles where they had to be intimate with other black people, and none of them were married to black people. Y'all don't think
Alexis,
that's
you was not always the villain, crazy girl.
Oh yeah, you have to watch.
That's funny.
It's on Tubi, so I mean it's on what's that? What's that? Pluto TV. So you can watch all the episodes.
I was on Prime Video today through your account probably, but look, I didn't know you have Brown Sugar the channel on there, girl. I'm about to watch all kind of stuff when I go to bed. You got Brown Sugar on the. Oh, girl, I'm about to watch all that stuff. They got stuff in there I ain't seen in a long time.
I think that's why I think we could close with this. Hold on, let me see if I can find this real quick. I think we should close with this. Because for me, y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. One of the things that keep me going was being a child of the 70s and also watching a lot of 1970 movies. I ain't going to lie to y'all. Yeah, and I feel like, let me just hold on. So I get these little things and they kind of tell you about different time periods. And so when I got this one for the 1970s, I thought to myself, I'm really feeling this because this is my era. Like, even though I was born in 71, I remember black people in unity with each other. So this is like party like the 70s. Even though we did have on some get-ups, but look at this.
But it's still
we
tasteful.
Still doing crazy stuff. Look at that.
It was tasteful though.
Yes.
Even their short skirts don't look raunchy.
Right. There was just something about those 70s that I just loved. Like, you'll get no more than this.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. My son always says stuff about it. Just seemed like stuff was cool in the 1900s, talking about like 1990s and the 80s, and I'll be cracking up because he says 1900s. Like, don't say that. Don't say that.
Partly it's true.
It is, but I just feel hello when he say 1900s because when we was in school, we read about the 1800s. He's born in 2007, so he ain't never write 19 on our near paper in school. He was a 2007 baby. The togetherness will burn this mother down. You are absolutely right. I agree.
I just like seeing stuff like that.
Line, when we go back to, and I think black people have drank the Kool-Aid, like Rhonda said, we don't even realize how we perpetuate the dismantling of the black family by the stupid shit we say and do and condone and support. We like Sexy Red. I couldn't tell you one of her songs, but if I see this lady again, this sister again, with all these tattoos on, this wig, twerking while she pregnant, doing all that's what our culture has been reduced to, are these disgusting individuals that we see on every TV screen, on commercials, on social media. It's like we're devoid of class. It's like the raunchier, the more familiar we are, the more we support you. Nobody should be going under her goddamn anyway. I could keep going anyway.
But I also feel like
because she just looks disgusting to me.
I agree.
Sister
Also,
Bellazzar said, hold on, let me read this comment right quick. She said, we was
yes,
classy, we was not raunchy or nasty looking. Our parents was not going to put up with that. Yeah, and I mean, and I said that because I see how short their skirts are, but they look nice and decent. You know
and
what I
I
mean? Like,
also think that this was pre-crack. There was something
absolutely.
so special about the 70s, not because I was born in it, but because this was when black people was is
Oh,
unified.
boy.
Like I can't explain it. We just started to come into
And they
ourselves,
loved each
and then
other, like,
crack
for real.
showed
Yeah.
up. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like that's like for me, I was like, damn. And then the further generation, they didn't get to see us like that.
Free
Most of them
crack
came
life.
in with all the
Mm-hmm.
trauma. They came onto the
And
planet in trauma. Some of us came into the planet with crack on board, with a
well,
chemical imbalance
positive.
in the womb.
Uh-huh.
So
And I think ever since crack, every generation since then has had some type of substance abuse.
yes,
Be it crack, be it heroin, be it fentanyl, be it cocaine, be it sherm, be whatever.
yes,
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Sister
yes.
Bellazzar said these girls don't leave nothing for the imagination. They just show everything. And that song that girl with that red hair, the P is, oh my God, yeah, the P is pink and the B is brown. I don't understand that kind of stuff. I don't understand. That's what I'm saying. It's like the most vulgar and disgusting thing ever. I see little kids. You know how you be scrolling, they be singing P Brown and they P Pink, and I'm like, this little girl's like 5 years old. Why is she gyrating and singing that type of song? Like, disgusting.
And I'll say this, Khadijah, but that also adds to why when we get murdered every 5.5 hours,
Devalue. Mm-hmm.
nobody
Nobody don't give a fuck.
cares. Because
Mm-hmm.
you're not adding no kind of life, at least an imagery to the world.
And they
So
like, well, she was raunchy and nasty. Well,
yeah,
yep,
so
I
we
agree
don't
with you
really care
wholeheartedly.
about her. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That
Yep.
and I don't even think we understand that we're doing that. That's why I can't get with people trying to make shit okay when it's not okay. Like none of this shit is
That
okay.
part.
Why are you trying to make it okay? We shouldn't even be singing
Not
shit
at all.
like that. Like, why would you want your baby to be singing shit like that?
Sybil said, yep, the idea of class and dignity is gone. Alexis said, I don't like her either. I feel like nothing is no longer authentic and my generation is lost and I shouldn't be in it. That's because you was raised by Teresa and Lloyd. Okay, you got an old school spirit now.
That's right.
But absolutely, it's like, yeah, and you blessed to be have old school parents like you had.
That's
Like
right.
that you are a blessing, Alexis. You know, I see some people your age and I just be like, who the fuck raised y'all? But then you look at the mama's still in the club, you know, doing over the shoulder booty poses. All their pictures in their obituary is gonna be like this, looking at their ass. Like it's disgusting.
I'll tell you one
So
more
nasty,
thing.
but they also get from their upbringing. Yep.
I agree. So I gotta say this. I also think with parents, sometimes they did shit that was so wrong, and instead of admitting that they fucked up, they gonna condone their bad behavior, which is why
Yep.
their kids are condoning their bad behavior. Like,
Yep.
hit that like
Yep.
button, y'all. Go ahead.
Sister Bellazzar said, "And honor that crap. Why you hold that up to high esteem? No, they need to shame you. They have no shame. These kids don't have no shame these days. She's horrible. It's not okay. No old school values. Yeah, it's. I'm telling you, I know some
But I
grandmamas.
also
I,
feel
I
like
could
some
even
of
say
this.
some.
No, sorry. Go ahead,
Go ahead.
sissy.
Go ahead.
No, I
I'm
was
sorry.
saying this.
Okay.
No, go ahead, girl. You go ahead. I'm
No,
shutting up. No,
oh,
you go
girl.
ahead.
No,
No,
because I
sit
got a
back.
cough
You
in
go,
me.
go,
I'm
go.
going on mute. Go ahead. I'm call.
No. So what I was gonna say was, I really think it does go back to when people, like, say if you did some shit in your life and it wasn't kosher or wasn't good, instead of you admitting that to your children, you would just act like it was okay. Instead of saying, look, this may have been all I had, but now I look back on it, it was wrong. I don't want y'all to go that way. We won't say that. We'll be like, well, I was making the best of what I had. Instead of being like, do you
Or they
want to
say
save your
stupid shit like
do you want to
do.
save your motherfucking kids? Do you?
Or they
That's
say.
how I feel. Like, do you want to save their
Or they
ass?
say stupid shit like,
Yeah.
do say not as I do. Well, we all know kids imitate what they see. So they're gonna do what the fuck they see, not as you do. So I hear that all the time. And
Look,
also, and then not only will they not say I made a bad decision, they'll put that shit on their mama or somebody. I'm this way because your grandmama, because we have somebody that
yes,
know
Lord, yes.
that made their kids think they grandmother made horrible decisions because they were with a no good nigga. Don't put that on your mama. Don't do that. Just say you made a horrible decision. You chose who you're gonna be with. Don't put that shit on your mama. Stop blame shifting and just say, I wanted to be with this person. I knew he wasn't no good. I knew I should have been doing X, Y, and Z, but I did A, B, C, and leave that shit alone.
Say you was in love with the dick and you realize it just didn't add up. I can take that. Most
But let
kids
me
can
tell
take
you,
the
Londa,
truth.
And hold on, I'm gonna tell you this too. And sometimes this is the sad part about it. It ain't got nothing to do with getting dick because he's dicking everybody else around. You just was caught up in the image of wanting to be with a man so you can say you was married, you can say you did this. Because half the time these motherfuckers ain't never spend no time. I'm talking about something specific, but I'm just saying for sometimes it don't even be about the dick down because he's the community dick, basically.
But Khadijah, but there's power,
that might have been what started it. I know some people, maybe, but I know some people, they no power with no dick. They just wanted, they had egg on their face and didn't want to not be with a man and say the real shit because they done spent $50,000, $20,000 on a wedding. So instead of you saying, I crap the fuck out, I gotta go, you gonna stay with this degenerate ass, no good bum, so you don't have to be molded because you hurried up and married somebody and you don't, you know what I mean? But go ahead.
I agree. No, I agree, but I still think there's power in the D. Because the only thing that makes him different from other people is that he has a penis. And even if he lay it down once a day or once a month or some motherfuckers, that's the only reason why they fucking with this nigga. For his 15 minutes, they gonna get at midnight.
I know some men that'll leave their mama high and dry to go taste some tail.
Well, that too. I'm talking about in terms of women's relationship. But you'll read these comments?
Yeah. Just imagine how hard it is to date in my generation, being raised by the parents I have. It's hard to settle or be serious with anyone. Yeah, but keep being selective. Don't settle. Don't settle.
Yeah.
Alexis, please don't settle, baby, because you got a lot to offer. There's a man out there that's thinking the same way you thinking, and you're gonna find him one day. But don't settle for these fucking knuckleheads. Your mama done put a lot of time and investment in you. Don't give it away to a no good bum who parents ain't raising right. Because I'm telling you, women try to pawn their fucking kids off on women that are doing good. I've seen it done. The mama courts you more than the goddamn boy to get this nigga out of here because he's living with her or living with their grandma or living with somebody else. So they'll court you more to get you to stay around. Don't do it, Alexa. Alexis, don't do it. We're gonna have to see some young men. Don't do it. I know that's why she kept cutting on. The parents don't think they are wrong. The parents are stripping and having many men and telling them get the money. That part. Not everyone has a mannerism. Respect for elders. Know how to speak and act. When and where. Show don't. Girl, that D will get you caught up. Sister, glad it really will. It'll get you caught up. Have your ass stuck on stupid. Because the parents don't have no shame. Some do not know how to enjoy their own company and know their value and worth, so they resort to these type of men. Some of us didn't snap peas and wash walls, and it shows. We used to wash walls, the baseboards.
We did wash walls. I didn't snap no peas, but we washed walls. Baseboards.
Mama, yeah, we used to. Shit. Mama and Wendy, I snap peas with them. Pop, sure the fuck did snap peas with them Wendy.
I don't remember
and another
peas.
thing
I remember washing
washboards though. My mama loved knickknacks. Okay. She collected knickknacks. We'd have to take every knickknack off that shelf, sometimes over 50 of them, wipe them down, clean the shelf. Like Saturday morning chores was Saturday morning chores.
I hated it.
We got busy. But yeah, I don't think, and you know what too, Tiffany? All of those washing walls and snapping peas and all that shit is bonding time. Because you in the house, y'all cleaning, you're learning. You know what I mean? Like that, we're missing that part of it. You know, we really are missing where we just have because all kind of conversations come up when you cleaning. Some of us did snap peas and wash walls. We sure did do all of that. I think that's what kept us humble. Girl, Saturday morning chores, Saturday morning church. That's why I learned all that music. Yeah, we would get our hair washed. And, like Friday night, get it, it'd be sitting in the 4+ drying, and we have to get that hot comb and get it pressed. Girl,
don't ask to spend the night because you're gonna go to church in the morning. So don't ask to spend the night on a Sunday. Sure is. I mean on Saturday.
Now your friend can spend the night and go to church with you over here, but you ain't going over there to spend no night. That is a given. We just wasn't.
See, that shows you that. See, that's what back in the day we used to say the we shit. We could say that back then because we was all doing the same thing. Can't you say that now though? Very true. Can't you say that now?
It's totally different rules. It's totally different rules. Really quick. Yeah, sure was. Before you went to church, you could smell it warming up. Yes, well, just to tell you how we're in different cultures now. We went to go hang out with some friends of ours, and there's they have a son the same age as our son. They went to elementary school together, and they're in high school now, junior. So they have like the garage set up like a like you could kick it out there. It's like another living room. So the little boy comes to the door. Now, mind you, my son is 6. They was 15 at the time. They're 15. He comes to the door, y'all, with a wine glass in his hand. The 15-year-old, and says, "Are you guys going to come inside?" I said, "I'm here to visit you. Why would I come in?" And I said, "This motherfucker drinking wine." We have become so far apart. Little boy in the house, cracking open a bottle of wine, come to the thing with a wine glass in his hand, and they're going to ask us, are we coming? And me and my husband look like, we don't talk about our son like that. Like,
Nigga, we
we
leaving.
play some video games, do karaoke, but he don't crack open wine, drink wine. So that's what I'm saying. Some things in our homes were just always the same. Nowadays, my son I gotta meet the parent. It's very rare he go to somebody else's home. I don't know what the fuck is going on in the homes. They come over here. I'm very particular. People are rearing their children completely different. But the little boy gonna ask us when are we coming in to talk? Like, boy, I am not here to hang out with you. You are a kid. And yeah, I just have to say
You
that
know
when
what
we
I
said
think? I also
everybody's
think
different
people
now.
are raising kids the way they wish they were raised. So the freedoms. No, for us, it's a freedom thing. Like, and we went up then, but now you got all the freedom in the world. You bored as shit.
Yeah. Even in high school, I had to tell my friends, like, hey, if you spend the night, my mom making us go to church tomorrow, straight up. You better spend the night on Friday because you spend on a Saturday. We at the church house.
Oh shit! But you better get up and
Period.
clean with our ass on Saturday morning. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
We don't lay
definitely
around on
will.
Saturday mornings in our house.
And my mom would always have a nice, good breakfast too when we was done, but we
Yes,
cleaned our ass off.
yes, we did.
It was
I can
7 of
smell. I
us.
can
My
smell
mama
that
said we
SOS
are
right
each.
now.
Okay, I'll make you some. It was 7 of us. My mama said we are all each other's company. We kept our asses at home. Straight up, I'm telling you, I could spend the night at one person's house when I was young, and that's Rakesha Smith. She now is in Florida. That was my elementary bestie. That was the only house other than my sister Renee's who I could spend the night at because my mama knew her parents and knew, but that was the only house. That was it. Sometimes on Friday nights too.
How?
Now I'm reading the up comment. Sometimes on Friday night too.
I would never forget when I asked my mom some shit when she was asleep, and then I went to go ahead to Danita's house, and then I called my mom. I made it. Made it where? You better bring your ass home. I was like, get your ass home. So when I got home, thank God for my sister D, because she told my mom that she did agree to it. Because I was walking to the door like I'm about to get my ass towed up. And then my mom was like, your sister told me I told you. I was like, whew, thank God. So I thought she was about to beat my ass.
You knew what you was doing. You knew what you was doing by asking her why she was half asleep because you knew she would have told you.
She'd have said no, straight up and down. She'd have said no. She was like, hell no.
If you related by blood, you didn't spend the night at nobody's house. Show didn't.
Yeah.
Show did
so
not.
I was like, oh. So thank God, man. Because you're not supposed to ask your mom for money or anything while she half sleep. Because my mom worked like a night shift. So in the morning, she would be like, in the bed, just get in the bed. So, but all right, y'all. This has been a blast. I enjoyed this whole conversation. Alexis said something else, Khadijah.
I could go to somebody's house for the weekend. My mom either picking me up Saturday or pack my church clothes because I ain't missing church. Hey, Sharonda used to always escape to my house. Sharonda was in junior high and high school. Deej, talk to my mom, stop spending the night. I'm like, girl, you finna get cussed out. Like, So yeah, your mom did not play. And I want to say to everybody tuning in, thank y'all for holding on with us because we wasn't on most of November. And we was on most of November, but hardly ever in December, maybe one show. So we wanted to come back in the new year, trying to figure some things out on Sunday, sitting with sisters. But thank y'all for tuning in this evening. We're going to be going on at 6:00 from here on out, so we can, get off enough time to still have a little bit of evening left. But thank y'all for tuning in this Sunday evening with us. We appreciate it. And I want to say to all the men of honor, congratulations once again. It was an awesome event, and my nephew really, really, really enjoyed himself. He's not around a lot of men like that, and he really, really enjoyed them in honor. The other day, he told me next year he wants to come in drumming. I said, okay, we got you. So Xavier. So he said he want to come in drumming next year. So we got you. I love it. Love you, Alexis. Inbox me your number, Alexis.
And inboxes if you're really, I got some of y'all names now, but if you're interested in being a part of this, us talking to the women candidates. I'm only going to have a small group between 12 and 15 Black women to talk to the candidates about what they're going to offer us, why we should support them while they're running. So let me know if you're still interested in that. That's going to be in February. So I'm going to try to get that, solidified as quick as I can. So thank y'all so much.
We are gearing up to do grandma hands, and that's where we honor grandmothers in the community who do great things. So if you have some women in your community or in your church or in your family or where your kids go to school at, crossing guard, somebody that you would like to honor for grandma hands, please inbox me or Rolanda about grandma hands because we would love to give them their flowers while they are here.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Balathon.
Are you going to live stream it? I wish I could live stream it so I can see it. I'm not able to get
Yes.
around like I used to. Yeah, it'll definitely be live streamed.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Gotta do that. So
Yep.
thank y'all. We will see y'all next week.
And remember, y'all, do something special for yourself on purpose because you deserve it. I holla.